Welcome everyone to Jimmy John's Field for this beautiful Sunday afternoon game. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here. Today's matchup is between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Both teams are 3-5, and the last time these teams played each other, Dan, was last Sunday.
And it was rain shortened.
Yes, we ended up calling the game after 5.5 innings due to rain, but not before Kevin Matthews threw a shortened no-hitter. It still counts as a no-hitter, but has the little asterisk next to it for shortened.
Yep.
He pitched phenomenally, though, across his 5 innings, allowing no hits and 10 strikeouts in 3 innings, and with 3 walks. I mean, 10 strikeouts in 5 innings is absolutely just, he was dealing.
Oh, yeah, he was, and no hitter could get to him, obviously.
And it's almost a little bit of a blessing in disguise in his case because of the fact, though, because he threw 10 strikeouts in 5 innings, he was probably going to be done for the day after 5 innings because his pitch count was high.
Yep, exactly.
The lone RBI coming in that ball game came from Bobby San Martin in the 2nd inning, and that was it. The game ended up 1-0 after 5.5 innings, and the rain caused us to end the ball game early. But I don't think we're going to have that issue today, as it is warm and sunny, 70 degrees and
beautiful.
Mostly cloudy.
Just so beautiful.
We have some inclement weather in the forecast later on today, but unless this game goes into extras by any means, then we should be able to avoid that.
Yeah, I don't feel it's going to hit some spots. I don't think it's going to be an all-day
I think
soaker.
we'll be okay because it's not supposed to really storm until the evening, so we should be able to get the game in. Right now, it's beautiful. And as of right now, I can't even imagine it storming at all.
Nope.
But it is beautiful out right now. Today's starting pitchers are Randy Wynn and David Ernst. David Ernst has had 2 games he's pitched in, 6 innings pitched across those 2 games, with a 0 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP.
Well, how about Randy Wynn? Doing a great job for the Birmingham Beavers in the starting role.
Yeah, he's done a pretty good job. He's pitched only 9 innings, gave up 5 earned runs. 10 hits, though, but no walks. That's the one stat that really stands out. He has not walked a man at all across 9 innings pitched so far. His whip is pretty good, too, at a 1.11, just allowing slightly over a base runner an inning. Same with David Ernst, and his whip is at 1.17. So both pitchers are doing a very good job so far this season, and I expect them to continue that today.
We have seen more of Randy Wynn than Ernst.
We have. I don't know if have we seen Ernst yet in a reliever role, or have that just been solely in closed games? He's
probably in the closed games, I believe. So it's going to be great to see him on the mound. At first, I thought it would be Jared Gaynor getting the start, but we were wrong.
Ernst has done. I mean, like I mentioned, he has a 0 ERA so far, and that's just he's doing a really good job overall. If you had to predict someone to be your player of the game for both teams, who would you think it would be, Dan?
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to have to go with Randy Wynn for the Beavers. If he was going to have a straight, good, strong performance.
See, for the Beavers, I'd have to pick Nick Wilson. I think he's always the safe pick to go. The guy's batting like well over 300, and he already has 2 home runs on the season, joining the season, while it's going on. And then for the Mammoths, I would have to go with Jordan Barnes. He's phenomenal out there in the outfield, constantly making great defensive plays. So just based on his defense alone, I think he's worth mentioning for a potential candidate for the game.
I didn't pick a Woolly Mammoths player, so I'm going to go with Riley Palmer. I feel like he's going to have a good game today. And right now, Riley Palmer, of course, has 27 at-bats. He does have 5 hits, 1 home run, and 4 RBIs. So, yeah, I'm going to go with him with that 185 batting average.
So, tomorrow, Dan, we have Memorial Day game.
It's going to be a great one.
Yeah, we don't have many Monday games, but for Memorial Day we do. And today, after the game, we actually have the candy drop as well from the helicopter.
So the kids are going to enjoy some candy after the game.
Yes. And
get treated to baseball and get treated with candy at the end.
It's going to drop onto the field. They're going to have the opportunity to go get it. And I'm sure they're looking forward to that.
Yeah, tomorrow's matchup is between the Diamond Hoppers and the Unicorns. That's a 1:35 game start.
So last time these two teams faced each other, the Beavers left 7 men on base in the 5 innings they've played, and I'm sure that they're looking to improve on that because no one wants to leave excessive runners on base, and we've seen actually quite a bit of that this weekend with the Unicorns the last 2 days, where just been so many left on base, and no one's just bringing these guys home.
Yeah, it was just a messy game last week with the rain, with the errors, with runners on base left on.
Yeah, the Mammoths, who did not register a hit that game, had 4 men left on base, and 3 of those came from a walk, and 1 came from a hit by pitch in the first inning. And I got to imagine that the Mammoths are going to try and right the ship that from last week. I mean, the first thing you got to do is get on base, and they were not able to do that last time.
Not at all.
So now it's time for the starting lineups for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. So we'll send it down to the field for that, the lineups and the national anthem.
The starting lineup for today's game are sponsored by AAA of Michigan. Leading off and batting first from Chicago, Illinois, the center fielder number 7, Joe LaFaro. Batting second from Vienna, Virginia, the shortstop number 9, Kent Blackstone. Batting third from Hamilton, Ohio, the left fielder number 2, Jeff Smith. Batting fourth from Goffstown, New Hampshire, the third baseman number 3, Riley Palmer. Batting fifth from Chattanooga, Tennessee, today's designated hitter number 10, Hagen Wilkie. Batting sixth from Arlington, Tennessee, the right fielder number 1, Jordan Barnes. Batting seventh from Melrose, Massachusetts, the first baseman number 22, Tyler McVicker. Batting eighth from Indianapolis, Indiana, the catcher number 4, Nick Krause. Batting ninth from El Segundo, California, the second baseman, number 6, R.J. Muir. Starting pitcher for the Westside Woolly Mammoths today from Fargo, North Dakota, number 25, David Ernst.
Yes, they got
Okay, do we have any Beaver fans in the house? Let's hear you, because here is your home team for today's game, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, managed by Chris Newell. Leading off and batting first from Hayward, California, the center fielder number 26, Don Andre Clark. Batting second from Deming, New Mexico, the third baseman number 10, Dan Kennan. Batting third from Decatur, Georgia, the first baseman number 6, Nick Wilson. Batting fourth from Berlin, Texas, the right fielder number 3, Nick Buckner. Batting fifth from Fairfax, Virginia, today's designated hitter number 4, Bobby San Martin. Batting sixth from Louisville, Ohio, the left fielder number 2, Jared Craig. Batting seventh from Riverside, California, the catcher number 19, Lewis Johnson. Batting eighth from Montpelier, Virginia, the shortstop number 1, DJ Martinez. Batting ninth from New Hyde Park, New York, the second baseman number 13, Thomas Rulis.
That sounds fake to me.
And the starting pitcher today for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, from San Diego, California, the 2016 USPBL Pitcher of the Year, number 9, Randy Wynn.
Who's better than the other 4 pitchers?
Who's better than the what? The other 4 pitchers in the league.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to take a moment of silence in honor of Corporal Jeffrey Robert Sandfest, who was a canine handler and combat engineer in the United States Marine Corps.
Be here.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your hats on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with the singing of our national anthem, today being performed by Hannah Fortin.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Hannah. Let's give her a hand.
Welcome back, everyone. Game between the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And I'm going to go through again the lineups for you for the Mammoths in case you missed it. Batting first, the center fielder, number 7, Jabba Farrell. Batting 7th, the shortstop, number 9, Kent Blackstone. Batting 3rd, the left fielder, number 2, Jeff Smith. Batting 4th, the third baseman, number 3, Riley Palmer. Batting 5th, the DH, number 10, Hagen Wilkie. Batting 6th, the right fielder, number 1, Jordan Barnes. Batting 7th, the first baseman, number 22, Tyler McVicker. Batting 8th, the catcher, number 4, Nick Krause. And batting in the 9th spot is the second baseman, number 6, RJ Fuhrer. And on the defensive side of things, your starting pitcher for the Beavers is Randy Wynn. The catcher is Lewis Johnson. Nick Wilson's over there at first base. Manning second base is Thomas Rollis. At shortstop is DJ Martinez. Over there at third base is Dan Kennan. In the outfield, going left to right, you have John Crank. And you have DeAndre Clark manning center field. And Buckner over there in right field. So we are just a few moments now from the first pitch as the play ball clip plays overhead.
From the movie Sandlot. One of my favorites.
We had, during orientation, one of our camera people were wearing a Sandlot t-shirt underneath her polo shirt, and she revealed it to us, and it was actually quite entertaining, because it was at the same time we were discussing, we couldn't remember the character's name, and she was wearing "You're Killing Me" Smalls underneath, and it was just perfectly timed coincidence.
You have to get me one of those shirts.
Meanwhile, Jabba Farrell is going to step into the batter's box, or will wait a moment before doing so.
Wants to get his signal.
We're waiting for the outfield doors to close, and he steps in now. Last time these two teams played each other, he went 0 for 2, and he reached base on a hit by pitch in the first inning. And the first pitch to him is going to be grounded fouled on the third base line. So the first pitch of this game is going to be 134, and it's now 0-1 on Jabba Farrell.
And a beautiful afternoon.
Absolutely, Dan. Just perfect weather. As that one skied into the air into foul territory. And Wilson's not going to be able to get over there to get it as it gets into the crowd. So 0-2 now on Jabba Farrell.
Summer's here, Brian.
Yes, it is. It finally arrived. After the last couple of weeks, it was pretty chilly. But today, today and yesterday especially, it's been very, very good temperature, and the weather's been cooperating as well. We had that Thursday game that was just completely missed, but it's been nice since as the 0-2 pitch comes in and he checks his swing, but it's called out swinging. So the first strikeout of the ball game is going to happen at the first batter, and he's going to strike out on 3 pitches. So
that didn't take long?
No, it did not at all. So now Kent Blackstone will step in. Kent Blackstone, the last time these two teams played each other, went 0 for 2. He struck out once. As the first pitch to him is going to be outside for a ball. And the 1-0 pitch is in. He's going to swing and he's going to drive this one down the right field line. But it's going to land foul under the Westside Woolly Mammoths bullpen.
Just need to straighten it out more.
So it's going to be 1-1. Yeah, he's a little bit early on that one. He got good contact on it. If he would have waited like a millisecond longer, he might have driven that one down the first baseline. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and he's going to foul that one into the crowds behind home plate. So 1-2 now. Kent Blackstone on the season's hitting a measly .083 on the season. As that one's going to be in there for a strike. So he got struck out looking. So Randy Wynn comes out dealing 2 consecutive strikeouts to start the ball game.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, he's not wasting any time, Dan, out there on the mound.
He's going right at him.
Randy Wynn has now 10 strikeouts on the season.
Work hard, play hard.
That's for sure. As Jeff Smith will step in now. The last time these two teams played each other, Jeff Smith went 0 for 1. He walked in his second plate appearance and eventually stole second. And it's 1-0 now on him. As the 1-0 pitch is in. It's going to be called a ball, 2-0 now. Here comes the pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike, 2-1 now. Jeff Smith hitting a strong .292 so far. He's got 7 hits and 3 RBIs to show for it. As the 3-1 pitch comes in. It's going to be low. He's going to walk him. So after 2 consecutive strikeouts, Randy Wynn walks Jeff Smith.
Now batting the third baseman, number 3.
And that's his first walk of the season as well, as he hadn't registered one to this point.
Which is a great stat for a pitcher.
Yeah. He played 9 innings until, before the games today and had walked nobody and had 8 strikeouts. Now he's at 10 strikeouts and 1 walk on the season. Here comes the first pitch at the at-bat, and he's going to swing and miss at that one. 0-1. Riley Palmer in now.
5 hits this season, 4 RBIs, and 1 home run. And he's also going, hopefully, maybe be my player of the game. That's who I picked.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to check his swing on that one, but get a piece of it. 0-2. Yeah, Dan, you like to root for the underdog. He has not played up to his potential so far this season. He's only batting .185, but he's got the repertoire to be able to do some damage. He just really needs to get out of this slump. As they're going to call for time. Jeff Smith over there at first base with 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Game is tied 0-0. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and he's going to drive this one way high in the air, not very deep over to right field, and Buckner's going to be able to get underneath it. And so Randy Wynn makes quick work of the inning, striking out 2, walking 1. So it'll remain 0-0 going to the bottom half of the first inning. We're due up for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Will be Denandre Clark, the third baseman Dan Kennan, and the first baseman and power hitter Nick Wilson. So we'll be back shortly. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler here for the bottom of the first inning between this matchup between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers will now get their chance at the plate as David Ernst takes the mound for the Mammoths. Ernst boasting a 0 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP to this point in the season.
Just 6 innings pitched for him.
Yeah, not a whole lot of innings pitched so far, but having no earned runs is still good nonetheless as DeAndre Clark sits in. And he's going to take for a strike, 0-1. DeAndre Clark, a lefty.
Was really active last time we seen him against the Woolly Mammoths, which was Sunday.
Yeah, he went 1 for 2. He got hit by a pitch and had 2 singles. As the 1-1 comes in, it's going to be high for a ball, 2-1 now. So he was 2 of the 7 hits that the Beavers had in the ball game, but in that shortened ball game. Weird fact about that game, as he drives that one into left field, and that one's going to be caught by Smith, though, as it wasn't hit nearly hard enough.
Go on, where you're going to finish.
Yeah, the weird thing about that ball game is that both the first batters for both teams got on base right away by getting hit by a pitch. Both Jared Gaynor and Kevin Matthews beamed their first batters of the ball game.
We've seen quite few hit batters this season.
I think we saw 2 yesterday as well. I know we saw at least 1. I'm pretty sure it was 2, though.
And if you all missed that game last night, and if you were here in attendance, you witnessed a walk-off hit.
Yeah, a walk-off win for the Utica Unicorns after they failed to do so the night before. And it's 0-1 now on Dan Kennan. Last time these two teams played each other, Dan Kennan went 2 for 3 as well. Had 2 singles and eventually came around to score for the lone run of the ball game. And it's 1-1 now on Dan Kennan. As the 1-1 pitch is in, it's going to be in there for a strike, 1-2 now. As the stands still are looking to fill up, more people are still filtering in.
And a lot more people out there in right field on the hill.
That's a popular spot out there.
Which you love.
Yeah, I love that hill. Just the fact, it's just it seems so peaceful out there. As he swings and misses at that one, but it's going to get away from Kraus. But he's going to be able to throw down to first base and get him. So Dan Kennan strikes out, swinging. So 2 down with no one on base for Nick Wilson.
Most valuable player last season.
The first at-bat we saw from Nick Wilson this season, he hit a solo shot home run straightaway center field. So we learned really quickly how much power he has.
And he's your player of the game.
And the first pitch of Nick Wilson is going to be inside for a ball, as I'm sure David Ernst is well aware of how much power he packs. So he's probably going to be pitched very carefully around him. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Inside again, 2-0.
He had a wonderful night last time we seen him, which was Thursday evening. 2 pitches and a home run.
Here comes a 2-0 pitch, and he flies that one into the stands behind home plate. So 2-1 now.
And I think he drove it deep to center field.
Yeah, he straight away center field. There was no chance on that one either. That one was long gone.
Like Ernie Harwell used to say, long gone.
Comes the 2-1 pitch, and he pops that one high in the air, but into the stands behind home plate. So 2-2 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. No men on base, tied 0-0. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. He's going to bounce that one in there. That one hit the ground before it got to the batter's box. And so it's going to go full 3-2 now on Nick Wilson, and I'm sure David Ernst would want that one back.
We've seen a lot of full counts last night.
Yeah, we saw. You know what? I should have tallied up exactly how many we had, because we had at least, I feel like, 15. Here comes the 3-2 count, and he's going to drill this one way, way high in the air. And Kraus is going to, at home plate, and it drops behind him. He's not able to get that one as the sun was in his eyes. It's only about 1:45 here at the ballpark, so the sun is still very high in the air.
You can't really beat the sun.
But that ball landed just behind the foul line, about 5 feet from home plate. And Kraus, if he would have backed up 2 more steps, probably could have gotten it, but he lost it in the sun. So it's going to remain 3-2 on Nick Wilson, boasting a .429 batting average with 2 home runs. And he's going to foul that one down the third base line. So once again, remain 3-2. Yeah, he's got 3 hits this season, Dan, and 2 of which came from home runs. So he definitely knows how to hit them.
He sure does.
As he gets ready for the 3-2 pitch, and he's going to foul that one to the left side of home plate. So Nick Wilson putting up a little bit of a battle here. I think that's about 7 or 8 pitches into the at-bat now.
Yeah, he's definitely not going away easy.
Well, Nick Wilson definitely knows how to handle himself at the plate, as shown by his batting average. He's going to fly that one into the air, foul, but into the stands. So it'll once again remain 3-2. Here comes the 3-2 pitch once again. He's going to check his swing on that one, and he did not go, so he's going to end up walking after a 10-pitch battle. So Nick Wilson draws a walk with 2 outs. Game tied 0-0, so now Nick Buckner will take to the plate.
I think we've seen quite a few longer battles in that one.
Yesterday we saw a 15-pitch at-bat,
Yeah.
and that one, I think, resulted in a walk as well. So, yeah, like I said, now Nick Buckner will take the plate. He went 0 for 2 last time these two teams played, and he drew a walk, as the first pitch to him is a strike. Here comes the 0-1. He's going to foul tip that one into the glove. So 0-2 now. That pitch came in at 86 miles an hour, a fastball. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to swing and miss, big cut, and he's going to strike him out the end of the inning. So Nick Wilson draws a walk, but does not advance any further than that. So it's going to remain 0-0 with no hits in the ball game, going to the top of the second inning, where the Westside Woolly Mammoths are due up. And leading off for them in the top of the second is going to be the DH, Hagen Wilkie. Following him is the right fielder, Jordan Barnes, and the first baseman, Tyler McVicker. So we will be back shortly with that. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the second inning. We're leading off for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Is Hagen Wilkie. And last time these two teams played each other, he went 0 for 2, struck out twice. And he swings and misses at that one, 0-1.
Both pitchers did a really good job there in the first.
Yeah, they both walked a man, but other than that, they pretty much had a flawless inning. Actually, they both had 2 strikeouts with a walk and a flyout to the outfield. So mirroring each other in the first inning. Hagen Wilkie on the season, Dan, is batting 133 with 4 hits, but no RBIs to show for it. As that one's going to be a strike, and he struck out on 3 straight pitches. That one was struck out looking.
And he didn't like it.
He did not agree with the pitch at all, but Hagen Wilkie now has 3 strikeouts in 1 1/3 innings, so it's still early yet, but he is pitching very well so far. Knock on wood. So now Jordan Barnes will step in, as he's going to ground that one over to the shortstop Martinez. He's going to toss it down to Wilson and get the out. So after a 3-pitch strikeout, he only takes 1 more pitch to dispose of Barnes. So 4 pitches in, there's 2 outs in the top of the first inning. Game is tied 0-0 between the Mammoths and the Beavers. Still no hits for either team yet, as Tyler McVicker is going to step in.
As Wynn looks to get his first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
Yes, he does, Dan. And Tyler McVicker is going to take on his first pitch, a ball, 1-0. As the second pitch comes in, he's going to ground that one. Ooh, a quick hop, and Martinez loses it. And by the time he finds it, it's going to be too late.
Well, I jinxed it.
You did jinx it. You said he was looking for his first 1-2-3 inning, and it was no good.
Now batting catcher number 4, Nick Krause.
And we're not sure if that's going to be classified as an error or a hit, because that ball came really fast at Martinez, took a weird hop. And they're going to call that a hit. So there's our first hit of the ball game. So it looks like I jinxed it too, because I said there's neither a hit for neither team yet.
Not a good start for both of us.
Well, we just got to stop jinxing things, as Nick Krause takes on his first pitch for a ball, 1-0. So now Tyler McVicker's over there at first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Nick Krause looks to advance him. And he's going to ground that one. It's going to stay fair. Nope. Going to be called foul down the third base line.
Off his ankle.
It was off the ankle, apparently, of Nick Krause. So 1-1 on him, as Nick Krause slowly returns to the batter's box. There's going to be a quick meeting at the mound between Lewis Johnson and Randy Wynn. Nick Krause, the last time these two teams played, it went 0-for-1, drew a walk in the 5th inning. He's batting 167 on the season with only 1 hit, and I'm sure he really wants to improve that. But the 1 hit he did have, he did get an RBI on. And that ball's going to be in there for a strike, 1-2 now. One and 2 on Nick Krause with 2 outs, 1 man on, and 0-0 tie ball game. And he's going to drive that one to center field, but it looks playable for DeAndre Clark as he's going to make the catch. And that'll be it for the top half of the second inning. The game remains tied 0-0, but the Westside Woolly Mammoths do get the first hit of the ball game thanks to Tyler McVicker's infield single. Going to the bottom half of the second inning, we have the number 5 hitter, Bobby San Martin, followed by the left fielder, John Crank, and the catcher, Lewis Johnson. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the second inning, where due up for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers is Bobby San Martin. And Dan, what do you think of these home uniforms for the Beavers?
I love them.
Yeah, I really like those pinstripes. I think they look really good on them. Meanwhile, the Westside Mammoths are going with the, we decided those were the Flintstone alternates.
Yes, and I love those as well.
I think they're okay.
Oh, you're just like Brad.
I like their regular away jerseys a lot better, personally.
Okay.
These aren't bad jerseys by any stretch of the
But
imagination.
you did say your favorite was the Unicorns.
Yes, my favorite is Unicorns. As San Martin grounds that one over to Palmer. Easy toss down to McVicker at first, and that's going to be one pitch, one out in the bottom half of the second inning for David Ernst.
Had a bad start.
Not a bad start at all for the inning. But we saw in the last inning that Randy Wynn got 2 men out in 4 pitches and then gave up his first hit of the ball game. So it's a different at-bat person to person. I mean, obviously. John Crank is now in. And that ball is going to be outside for, well, a ball, 1-0. He's batting .071 on the season with only 1 hit and 1 walk. Not doing so hot as he grounds that one over the first baseman to McVicker. Ernst over to cover, makes the out. So on 3 pitches, we have 3 outs. It looks like he's trying to one-up Randy Wynn.
2 outs?
Yeah, I meant 2 outs. He's trying to one-up Randy Wynn, who went 4 pitches and 2 outs. So now Lewis Johnson will step in. And here comes the first pitch to him. In there for a ball. It was a little bit low, 1-0.
Didn't see too much out of Johnson last time these two teams met.
Yeah, he went 0 for 3 with 2 swinging strikeouts. Not the way he wanted to go as he fouls that one off his leg. So it's going to go to 1-1 on him.
Fans still piling on in here.
Yeah, the stadium's really starting to fill up now, as it was during the pregame. It was about half full. Now it's at least 3/4 full. Actually, a little bit more than that, if I have to say. And that's just the stands right in front of us. I mean, there's plenty of people on the hill, and the patio sections are always pretty full. It's 1-2 on Lewis Johnson.
Definitely one of those days you might want to put on the sunscreen.
This would be a perfect day to come to the ballpark, Dan. I'm telling you, as he swings and misses at that one. So David Ernst goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second, one-upping Randy Wynn's second inning. So the game is still scoreless with only 1 hit in the ball game. And we're going to the top of the third inning, where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths will be R.J. Fuhr, Jabba Farrell, and Kent Blackstone. And we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the third inning. We're due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is R.J. Fuhr.
Quick inning out of David Ernst.
Yeah, he went 1-2-3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout swinging to end the inning. And both pitchers so far have been very efficient, getting outs fairly quickly. David Ernst with the lone exception of the 10-pitch battle with Nick Wilson in the first inning, but other than that, it's been very quick at-bats. As the first pitch to RJ Fuhr will be inside for a ball, 1-0 now. And that pitch is going to be in for a strike, 1-1. RJ Fuhr did not play the last time these two teams met. Comes the 1-1 pitch. He's going to swing. He's going to ground that one over the head of Wynn, but the second baseman Rules is able to make the play over to Wilson. So on 3 pitches, there's going to be 1 out.
Lewis was like, I got your back.
Yes, and he definitely did. It was a good play by Rulis to back up his pitcher on the mound.
I mean, every fielder behind the pitcher should have his back.
Ideally. That one hopped in the grass before the mound. Wynn tried to get it, but was unable to. And that one's going to be in for a strike, 0-1 now on Jabba Farrell. He struck out swinging his first time up on 3 pitches. And the 0-1 is coming in now. He checks his swing on that one as that ball's outside, so 1-1. And Jabba Farrell takes his time getting comfortable in the batter's box as he fouls that one off near the visiting team dugout. 1-2 now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Jabba Farrell. Outside, count is even now at 2-2. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. So that's a second strikeout swing for Jabba Farrell, as he's not pleased with himself as he returns to the dugout.
That'll be Wynn's 3rd strikeout of the ball game.
2 of which he... 4th strikeout, actually.
4th strikeout, yep.
2 of which he victimized Randy Wynn. So now Kent Blackstone will step in. Also struck out his last time up, but looking as he drives that one down the first base line, but it's going to be foul. I almost said Farrell. Just combining the 2 words. 0-1 now on Kent Blackstone.
You corrected yourself, though.
It would have been funny if I would have said
Yeah.
Farrell.
It would.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside, 1-1. And the 1-1's in, and he fouls it into the netting behind home plate. So, go 1-2. Kent Blackstone only has 1 hit on the season, but he drove in 3 RBI. Comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to foul tip that one in the netting behind home plate. So it'll remain 1-2 on him. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside for a ball. 2-2 now. Two-two's in. He's going to drive that one foul down the right field line into the patio. Almost into the merch booth, too, actually.
Yeah.
So it's going to remain 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And he's going to drive another one foul, this time to the left field bleachers.
Definitely giving Wynn a battle.
Yeah, Randy Wynn really hasn't struggled with any batters to this point yet in the ball game, but Kent Blackstone, my apology, is making it his duty to be the first. And the 2-2 pitch is in. He's going to drive this one foul again over to the Beavers bullpen.
A lot of free baseballs.
That's for sure. You always tell Dan. You always say every single game that players should bring or fans should bring their gloves.
Yes.
And he drives that one foul into the right field patio. And he's just driving them foul each way. He seems to be switching every single pitch.
Foul, foul, foul.
And it's going to stay 2-2. Here comes the 2-2. That time he half-heartedly swung, but ended up hitting it right to Randy Wynn. So a little bit of a disappointing end of that at-bat. After he was fouling a bunch off, he kind of checked his swing and hit the ball back to the mound. So there'll be a 1-3 putout. And Randy Wynn goes 1-2-3 in the top of the third inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the third, where due up for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers is the shortstop DJ Martinez, followed by the second baseman Thomas Rulis and the center fielder Denandre Clark. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the third inning. Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers are now up to bat. Game is tied 0-0. Only one hit to speak of for either team.
David Ernst only throwing 20 pitches back in the second.
Or total, you mean?
Yeah, total.
I was going to say 28 pitches in the second isn't an only. It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
As the first pitch to DJ Martinez is in for a ball, 1-0. But 28 pitches after 2 innings is good because you ideally want to be at 15 after an inning, and he's at 15 and 13. As the 1-0 pitch is in high, 2-0 now.
So definitely on the streak.
Yeah, he's doing quite a good job. He went 1-2-3 in the second inning, and almost had a walk in the first inning, but other than that, he did quick work. It's going to be high again, so 3-0 on DJ Martinez.
.269 batting average for DJ.
Comes the 3-0 pitch. In for a strike, 3-1 now.
7 hits, 4 RBIs.
He's hitting fairly well. Comes the 3-1 pitch. He's going to fly that one into foul territory. And Krause is going to go over and try and get it, but it's going to land into the second row of the bleachers.
Another free baseball.
And there's been plenty of those already, as Kent Blackstone fouled off a bunch of them in the last at-bat for the Woolly Mammoths in the last half inning. So we'll go to 3-2. Count is full now on Martinez. Comes the 3-2 pitch. It's going to ground that one fouled on the third base line, so it'll remain 3-2. And both pitchers today, Dan, doing good jobs of keeping their pitch counts low.
Yes,
making
sir.
quick work. As that one's going to get away from David Ernst. He's going to walk him.
Next up, the second baseman, number 13.
So now with no one out and one on, Thomas Rulis comes to the plate.
Earned second walk of the ball game.
Yes, yes, you're right. That is his second walk, and Randy Wynn only has one so far to this point. Thomas Rulis comes into the game today hitting 280. He takes for a ball, 1-0.
7 hits, 2 RBIs.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and they're going to break for second, and he's going to be tagged out at second. It was a close play. I had to wait for the official calling from the umpire because I wasn't sure which way that one was going to go.
What a beautiful throw by Nick Krause.
Nick Krause threw that one right on the money as DJ Martinez is thrown out stealing. Here comes the 2-0 pitch in there for a ball. So we're going to go 3-0 now on Thomas Rulis. So now the newly emptied base paths, and that ball's going to be outside. So DG Martinez gets caught stealing, but there's quickly another man on the base paths as Ernst walks his second man in a row. DeAndre Clark is going to step in now, his first time up. He flew out to the left fielder, Jeff Smith. DeAndre Clark comes into the ball game today batting a very solid 400. I mean, that's more than solid. That's phenomenal as he fouls that one off his ankle. So it'll go 0-1 on him.
Definitely an average you want to have.
Yeah, he's got 12 hits on the season to this point. Just absolutely raking. Has 5 RBI as well. No home runs yet to speak of.
Him and Nick Wilson, both power hitters in this lineup.
Yes, they both hit hard. Nick Wilson tends to get more home runs, and DeAndre Clark just tends to get on base. But, I mean, you can't really complain about getting base runners. DeAndre Clark has done a phenomenal job at that so far this season.
Yes, he has.
Comes the 0-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one. It's going to be a single down the right field. So Thomas Rulis will advance to second on the play, and DeAndre Clark has a one-out single as he singled that one between the first baseman McVicker and the second baseman Fuhr.
First hit of the ball game for the Beavers.
Yes, so now both teams have one hit, but the Beavers have the first runner in scoring position of the day and their first chance to take the lead. As Dan Kennan steps in, hitting a solid .308 batting average. No RBI yet to speak of, though, even though he's batting so well. First pitch to him is going to be high for a ball, 1-0. So Jed Kennan will step back into the batter's box now as David Ernst decides on the pitch. Here it comes. He's going to drive that one to center field, but not deep, as Farrell's going to end up having to come in to make the play. And it'll be 2 away now with 2 men on.
Now batting on first baseman, number 6, Nick Wilson.
So the power hitter, Nick Wilson, will step in. He walked his first time up in a 10-pitch at-bat. He's got 2 men on with 2 outs, one of which is in scoring position. So let's see if Nick Wilson can work a little bit of magic here.
Here comes the most valuable player last season.
This man drove in, I believe, 17 or 18 home runs last season. Just absolutely phenomenal at the plate. He already has 2 home runs across his 3 hits. As he takes for a ball, 1-0.
Definitely like a Miguel Cabrera in the Tigers lineup. Or a JD.
At this point, it'd be more of a JD Martinez, as Miguel Cabrera's been struggling to start the season. Starting to get hot, though. The second pitch of the at-bat comes in. Inside again, 2-0. And there seems to be a pattern going on here. They seem to want to pitch Nick Wilson inside. Probably has a lower batting average to balls thrown inside.
I guess you could say that.
Comes the 2-0 pitch. high and inside. 3-0 now. They're not taking their chances with him. I can't necessarily say as I blame them. Comes the 3-0 pitch. That one's going to be in for a strike. 3-1 now.
Oh, Nick Wilson had to turn his body a little bit.
I think that was more cautionary, as it didn't look like it was that far inside, but I guess better safe than sorry, or that he was trying to sell the pitch. Comes the 3-1, and he's going to walk him, his second walk of the ball game. And bases will be loaded now with 2 outs, and with Nick Buckner coming up. Buckner bats from the right side of the box. So there's going to be a quick meeting at the mound. They need 1 out to get out of this bases loaded jam after they just walked Nick Wilson, and I can't even say that's a bad decision.
No, it's not.
Because Nick Wilson himself could have driven in both those runs, but now you have 2 runners in scoring position, so a single could bring home both or 2 runs.
And you know Nick Wilson likes to crowd that home plate.
Yes, he does, and a lot of those pitches inside, one of them looked like it was to maybe back him out a little. So the meeting at the mound is over with. So 2 outs, bases loaded in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. As the first pitch to Nick Buckner is going to be in for a strike, 0-1. There's been 2 walks this inning and a base hit. 3 walks, actually. DJ Martinez was the first walk, but was caught stealing. And the 0-1 pitch comes in. He's going to fly this one over the head of Ernst, but to the second baseman. And they're going to get out of this inning. So Beavers threatened but do not score. Had bases loaded with 2 outs, but they couldn't do anything with it. So it's going to remain a 0-0 tie going to the top of the 4th inning. And due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths at the top of the 4th is the left fielder Jeff Smith, followed by 3rd baseman Riley Palmer and the DH Hagen Wilkie. So we will be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 4th inning, where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is the left fielder, number 2, Jeff Smith. His first time up, he walked. So this is his first official at bat, even though he had a plate appearance already.
.292 batting average, 7 hits, 3 RBIs.
Yeah, he comes into the game batting very solidly, Dan. As he takes for a strike at this first pitch at the at-bat, 0-1. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. And he's going to drive that one over the head of the shortstop, DJ Martinez, for a single, and that'll be the first hit of the inning. So now Riley Palmer will step in with no outs and a man on. And the Mammoths were able to get out of a bases-loaded jam last half inning. David Ernst managing to get out of it after he walked 3 guys and had let up a base hit. I'm assuming that one of the conversations they're going to have in the dugout is he's got to watch his control because, I mean, walking 3 guys in 1 inning is just not what you want to do.
Exactly.
As Riley Palmer takes for a ball in his first pitch at the at-bat. Although they were pitching to the inside of Nick Wilson intentionally as they throw down to first, but Jeff Smith's able to get back in time.
But with Nick Wilson's batting stance, I mean, he crowds the plate, so it's very hard to pitch to him.
His hands are held so high, so if a pitch inside's a little bit harder for him to get to. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to fan and miss at that one. 1-1 now. As we wait for the 1-1, they call time. His first time up, Riley Palmer flew to the right fielder, Nick Buckner.
So not a good start for my player of the game.
No, not necessarily, but there's still a lot of game left to play.
Yes, indeed.
As that one's fouled into the netting, so it's 1-2. Jeff Smith with the okay lead over there at first, not too much, as that one's in for a ball. 2-2 now. Jeff Smith Riley Palmer, has 5 walks on the season, so he's not one to shy away from not swinging. Comes the 2-2 as he drives that one over the head, but into the hands of Buckner. So that's the second time he flies out to the right field today. He hit that one hard. He got good contact on it, but Buckner came in and made the basket catch in right field.
A very low basket catch.
Yeah, he basically had his glove on the ground as he made that catch, and it just Riley Palmer just can't really get a break today. Is that one? Like I said, he just got really good contact on. He just drove it pretty much right to Buckner, who only had to take a few steps in to catch it. So now Hagen Wilkie will step in. Struck out looking his first time up. And he's going to foul that one into the backstop. 0-1 on him. Jeff Smith still over there at first base. Hasn't really tried anything yet. Looks poised to do something over there as the 0-1 pitch comes in. 0-2 now. Jeff Smith does not take his batting gloves off when he's on the base paths.
Would you use batting gloves on the base pads?
I have not played enough baseball to know the answer to that.
But if you
the
did,
better question is, Dan, would you? As that one's in for a ball, 1-2.
Back in high school, I did. I hit with the gloves on and ran the base with the gloves on.
I know players like Rajai Davis wear padded gloves on their hands on the base paths for when they're stealing to protect them as the 1-2 pitch comes in. In for a ball, 2-2 now.
Which got to be quite comfortable.
I got to imagine that it'd feel a little
weird
on your hands, but I'm sure he doesn't mind not jamming his finger every time he slides into the bag or having his hand stepped on. As the 2-2 pitch is outside for a ball, 3-2, full count now.
Almost looks like an oven mitt.
Yeah, that's exactly almost what it looked like, Dan. It looked like an oven mitt on his hand.
Rajai Davis now with Cleveland, right? Or where's he at now?
As he's going to fly that one foul. He's not with Cleveland anymore. Kennon's going to come over, but it's going to be in the stands. So
I mean, he's with Oakland.
Stay 3-2. Yeah, he's with Oakland now.
I keep remembering him from that big hit he did
In the Game 7?
Yep.
I was rooting for Rajai Davis. I liked him in his time in Detroit. He didn't really bat all that great, but man, was he a threat on the base paths.
I was at the game when you hit that walk-off grand slam.
Yeah, so was I. Back in 2014, it was
that was beautiful.
The 30th year anniversary of the 1984 World Series. As Jeff Smith breaks for second, but it's going to be hit foul. It'll remain 3-2 now.
Haven't worn that jersey yet, though. I just kept it in the same bag as it came in.
I came too late. I didn't get one.
Oh,
I actually saw a fan here wearing it yesterday, and I thought about that game. I was like, oh, look at that. Small world. Apparently,
you could have got that.
apparently the 20,000 people who went to the game were live in the Metro Detroit area. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. He's going to foul that one in the netting behind home plate. Remain 3-2 as Hagen Wilkie is putting up a bit of a battle here with 1 out and 1 man on. Game is still tied 0-0 though.
Definitely have to get to the ballpark when there's giveaways early.
Yeah, like when gates open kind of early. As Jeff Smith breaks for second again. He's going to swing and miss though, Hagen Wilkie, but he's going to get in there safely. So Hagen Wilkie will go down on strike swinging, but Jeff Smith will steal second base. So now Jordan Barnes will step into the plate after grounding out to Martinez his first time up. He's got a runner in scoring position after Jeff Smith stole second. And the first pitch to Barnes is in, and he flies that one into the netting behind home plate.
I flinched there.
I flinched too, because honestly, it looked like it was coming right at us, but the netting saved us.
Thank you, netting.
Yeah, thank you, safety measures and safety protocols. It's the 0-1 now. And the pitch is in, called for a strike. 0-2 on Jordan Barnes. As Jordan Barnes flies that one into foul territory on the right side of home plate. And that'll land about 10 rows up in section 101.
And a great catch by a fan.
The fans applaud as he caught it in his hat.
That's one way to catch it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have a glove, it's a good substitute.
And
Actually, I'm sorry, he didn't catch it in his head. He caught it in the crease of his elbow.
Wow.
He's still holding it there. Be 1-2 on Jordan Barnes now, getting back to the play at hands.
Showing the guns.
Yeah, he looks like he's flexing the guns, yeah. So, runner on second, 1-2 pitches in. He's going to ground that one to the mound. And Ernie Wynn's going to make an easy throw over to first and get out of the inning. So the Mammoths threaten, but do not score. And it's going to remain 0-0 going to the bottom of the fourth inning, where due up for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers will be the DH, Bobby San Martin, the left fielder, John Crank, and the catcher, Lewis Johnson. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler with you here in this beautiful afternoon matchup between the Beavers and the Mammoths. Currently tied 0-0, and Bobby San Martin will stand in for the Beavers.
Wish this weather could stay like this forever.
Yeah, I do too. Well, I guess it will if you get your dream of moving to California, Dan.
California dreaming.
And Bobby San Martin grounded out to the third baseman his last time up as he looks at his first pitch at the at-bat. Outside for a ball. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to foul that one into the netting behind home plate. So 1-1 now. And the 1-1 pitch is in. He's going to drive that one to center field. Farrell stumbles a little bit trying to get to it, so it's going to drop in for a single. So Bobby San Martin will get on with a single to start the inning. Yeah, Jabba Farrell stumbled a little bit trying to take off to get to that ball, and I'm not entirely sure he would have gotten to it anyways, as it was a pretty shallow hit.
Just barely getting out of the infield.
Yeah, he would have had a better chance nonetheless if he had. So now John Crank will step in. First pitch to him is inside as Kraus threatens to throw over. So 1-0 now on John Crank. Bobby San Martin with a decent lead out there at first base as that ball's in for a strike, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He's going to foul tip that one. So go to 1-2 now. John Crank, his last time up, he grounded over to the first baseman and tossed it over to the covering David Ernst. And that'll be outside for a ball. Count is even now at 2 apiece. Bobby San Martin is on first base after he singled in the last at-bat. And there's no man out. They throw over to first, but San Martin's able to get in time.
That was a quick throw.
As David Ernst hasn't taken any risk. Game is still tied 0-0. Both teams have 2 hits. And that ball's going to be outside. 3-2. John Crank has a full count now.
As the Jaws theme plays again.
Every single time we have a 3-2 count. And he's going to drive that one over the head of the second baseman, R.J. Fuhr. And that's going to advance the runner to second base. So Bobby San Martin is in scoring position now as John Crank gets a single. There's still no outs yet in this half inning. So Lewis Johnson will step in. He struck out his last time up with a chance to give his team the lead. After a quick meeting at the mound, Nick Kraus slowly makes his way back to home plate. Comes the first pitch. He shows bunt but pulls it back, so it'll be a ball, 1-0. Lewis Johnson only taken 4 pitches before he struck out in his first appearance. Lewis Johnson also striking out twice the last time these two teams played each other. Only has 1 hit yet on the season as he shows bunt again, but misses.
How did that one miss?
Going to be called a strike, so 1-1. I'm not sure if he got a piece of it or not, but nonetheless he didn't pull it back in time, so it'll be count as a strike. As we wait for the 1-1, we got 2 men on. Bobby San Martin in scoring position at second base as he shows bunt again. This time makes the bunt, but not a very good one. So they're going to throw down to first, and the throw was a little bit off the mark, but McVicker was able to keep his foot on the base.
That was very close there.
So Lewis Johnson's bunt was successful in moving the runners up. So now we have 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
Obviously, the first base coach didn't agree with that call.
Well, I think anytime there's a play that's close, he's going to make sure he gets his thoughts known. They're going to have a little quick meeting over there, though.
He's staying there.
Yes, Lewis Johnson hasn't gone to the dugout yet, waiting for this little meeting to converge.
And he's out.
Yep, they're going to rule him out in the end.
But did get the runners over.
Yes, so his at-bat was a successful one. He didn't get on base, but he was able to advance the runners in the end. So now we have 2 runners in scoring position at second and third, with DJ Martinez coming up. Martinez's last time up, Dan, he walked and then eventually got caught stealing. But Martinez is one of the better hitters on this Beavers team, so I'm assuming I'm gonna see if they rely on him to drive home these runs. As the first pitch is in for a ball, 1-0.
Either him or you have Nick Wilson.
Well, I don't think they're gonna be able to wait until Nick Wilson comes around because
so
we're
DJ
at the
Martinez
seventh
is in
batter.
the right spot.
And here's the 1-0 pitch. He's gonna hit that one foul into the air as Fuhr backs up, and it looks like he's gonna make the catch on the outfield grass. So we have 2 out now with men on second and third. And so it's going to be up to Thomas Rulis to drive home at least 1 run. I mean, he's going to want to get 2 in, though. As the Beavers are still threatening to take a 1-0 lead here in this ball game.
Rulis walked the first time, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It's a 0-0 tie here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs with men on second at third. Pitch is going to be inside for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Inside again, 2-0 now. Kraus had a little bit of trouble corralling that one, Dan, but he was able to maintain it.
He does have a thrown out in this ball game.
Yeah, he did throw DJ Martinez out at second when he tried to steal in the last inning.
So doing a great job so far behind the plate, which you want from your catcher.
Comes the 2-0 pitch outside for a ball, 3-0 now. So we have a 3-0 count on Thomas Rulis. Has a little bit of room to work with now. And that's going to be in there for a strike, 3-1 now.
Just catching that outside corner.
Just barely, but it did count. A base hit will give the team the lead, but with 2 outs, that's pretty much what you got to get as he fouls that one off his foot to the mound. So it'll just count as a strike. Count is full now, so runners will be in motion. Either way, they're going to be running. So three-two pitch. He's going to drive that one on the ground to Fuhr over at second. So the Beavers threaten but do not score as Thomas Rulis grounds out to the second baseman.
We are cruising along in this ball game.
We've had a couple of scoring chances for both teams, but neither were able to capitalize, so the game remains 0-0 going to the top of the 5th inning. And due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths in the top is the first baseman, Tyler McVicker, the catcher, Nick Kraus, and the second baseman, R.J. Fuhr. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 5th inning, where due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is Tyler McVicker, the first baseman. The first pitch he sees is going to be outside, on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1.
He does have a hit in this ball game.
Yes, he does. He had the first hit for the Mammoths back in the 2nd inning. Only took him 2 pitches to accomplish that, as the second pitch is in for a ball, 1-1.
That was his 5th hit to start the season.
Comes the 1-1 pitch. He's going to drive that one foul into the patio over in right field. So 2-1 now, or 1-2 now. Correction.
Actually, that was his 6th hit.
Comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to drill that one single into left field.
Make it 7.
So that'll be...
And second out of the ball game.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2 now. So Nick Krause will step up to the plate. He is flown out to DeAndre Clark in his first at-bat.
And we are even at hits. Or
Yep, 3 apiece now, Dan. The first pitch to Nick Krause is going to be outside for a ball, 1-0. McVicker at first with a pretty good lead out there,
Wynn's going to keep a close eye on him.
as Wilson sets up on the bag over there. And that's going to be in for a ball, 2-0 on Nick Krause now.
We have seen Wynn throw over the first quite a few times in this ball game.
Keeps a close eye on his base runners as the 2-0 pitch is hit for a single in the left field, and that's going to advance the base runners. So now with no outs, the Westside Woolly Mammoths have something going. Men on first and second, and R.J. Fuhr will step up, looking to give his team the lead. It feels like I've said that like 4 or 5 times already. No one has been able to bring their runners from scoring position home to this point yet.
I really haven't kept count, but I guess so.
If we were going by who had the most hits, the Mammoths would be winning now with 4, but still no runs to this point. And as we all know, you need runs to win the game, as R.J. Fuhr shows bunt and pulls it back, so it'll be 1-0. R.J. Fuhr just looking to advance the runners.
Of course, one of those hitters in the Woolly Mammoths lineup that just gets on because of walks. As you can look at his batting average.
Yeah, he's got some serious deja vu going on, as a similar situation was in the last half inning. And he's going to get a bunt down, but it'll go foul on the third base line. So it'll be 1-1 on R.J. Fuhr. It was Lewis Johnson who bunted and ended up getting thrown out at first, but advanced both the base runners to second and third in the last half inning. And now the Woolly Mammoths look to do the same thing here. R.J. Fuhr still shows bunt. Wynn looks back to second, hits the pitch. This time he gets a good one down, about halfway down the third baseline. He'll get thrown out at first anyways, as Kennan was ready for it. But he does his job and advances the base runners.
Now batting the center fielder, number 7, Shoma Farrell.
So now Jabba Farrell will come to the plate. Struck out swinging in his first 2 plate appearances, his only 2 plate appearances of the day. And we have runners at second and third. Nick Krause is second, McVicker at third. The first pitch to Farrell is low and outside for a ball. Gets away from Johnson, but not very far, so no motion from the runners. 1-0 now. 2 men on, 1 out. No score to this point in the ball game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-0.
May I say, Brian, Beavers do have a right-hander warming up in their bullpen. That is number 16, Cameron McKenzie.
McKenzie's a righty, so they're going to follow the righty starter up with the righty reliever if they end up switching. Comes the 2-0 pitch. He's going to foul that one in the netting behind home plate. So 2-1 on Jabba Farrell. Comes the 2-1 pitch. Inside for a ball, 3-1 now. Tyler McVicker is very eager to get down that third base line.
And when will we want that pitch called a strike?
Unfortunately, it's not always going to go your way, and he understands that, I'm sure, but it can still be frustrating. As 3-1 pitch is in, going to be high for a ball, so now the bases are loaded with 1 out. But that does bring the double play into effect. A double play could end the inning. So there's going to be a meeting at the mound. And the manager is walking to the mound now, so this is probably just an attempt to give the reliever more time to warm up.
You got that right, Brian.
It doesn't look like doesn't appear as if Chris Newell is going to take the ball from him yet. And he's going to walk back to the dugout. So Rennie Wynn will remain on the mound for the time being.
And while that visit is happening, the Beavers mascot Buzz is visiting with the fans.
Buzz doing a good job of staying involved. And here's the first pitch to Kent Blackstone. Gonna be high for a ball. Bases are loaded. 1 out for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. No score to this point, and the Mammoths have a great opportunity here to drive in some runs. And Kent Blackstone has a chance to bring up that average a bit. He comes into the game batting just .083. And he swings and misses at that one. 1-1 now.
Powerful cut there.
Yeah, he was swinging with full force there, looking to do some damage. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Tad high, so 2-1 now. Comes that 2-1 pitch. That's going to be in for a strike. My bad. 2-2 now. Count is even.
I was quite confused there too, Brian.
I thought it was outside, but I'm not the umpire, and what the umpire says goes. Nick Cross is at second base, Jabba Farrell at first, and Tyler McVicker at third. 1 out with bases loaded. Here comes the 2-2, and he's going to drive that one into left field, and Tyler McVicker is going to be able to come in and score, as Clark Crank could not get a handle on that one, as well as Nick Kraus. So that'll be a 2 RBI double for Kent Blackstone. Or 2 RBI single, correction. McVicker wasn't entirely sure that one was going to get down in time, so he waited at third base. But when he saw John Crank couldn't make the catch out there, as it was too low to the ground for him.
As manager Chris Newell of the Beavers has a little leftover words with the ump on the call.
He didn't agree with the call at second base. He thought he was out. So McVicker and Cross will come around to score. The Westside Woolly Mammoths have now a 2-0 lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. Kent Blackstone is at first, while Jabba Farrell is at second. As this conversation is ongoing, and Chris Newell is not happy with the call at second.
Getting really in the face of the ump. Will we see our first ejection of the season?
And
I don't think so.
Nope, Chris Newell's going to return to the dugout.
Definitely didn't win the battle.
Well, you're not really going to win an argument with an ump anyways,
No.
but they just want to get their opinions heard. Because the umpires have complete control pretty much over any situation. As Jeff Smith is in the batter's box, looking to extend the lead. Runners at second and third. He's going to fly that one into the stands. So Kent Blackstone was able to get in there with a 2 RBI double.
It was a single, Brian, E7.
Is that what it was?
Yes. So an error on John Crank from the Beavers.
So runners at second and third. Jeff Smith with a chance to extend the lead. Still only 1 out. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to check his swing on that one. And he's not going to have gone around, so go to 1 and 2 now on him. The Westside Woolly Mammoths now have a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 5th inning after a 2 RBI single by Kent Blackstone. And the 1-2 pitch is hit fouled on the third base line. So it'll remain 1 and 2. Comes the 1-2. He drives that one to left field, but right underneath is John Crank, and they're going to try and score him from third. And the throw's going to be off the mark. So that'll be a sac fly RBI for Jeff Smith as Java Farrell scores from third. And Kent Blackstone is able to advance to third base from second. So Riley Palmer will step in. He flew out both times to Buckner. His last time up he got great power, and they're going to have a pitching change here as Randy Wednesday is done. He was pretty much cruising through the first 4 innings, but has hit road bumps here in the 5th, so his day is going to be done.
And gets the applause from the fans. And a deserving applause.
I believe that will be only... I think that's 3 earned runs, despite the error.
Oh, only 2.
Only 2. And while we're waiting for the pitcher to warm up here, tally up these stats for you.
I can definitely tell you, in for the Birmingham Beavers is Cameron McKenzie, who's in now, taking over for Randy Wynn.
He's got 1 inning pitched, Dan, and has only given up 1 hit, but it was a hit for a earned run, so his ERA is 9, despite only giving up 1 earned run in the season. And he was given the loss of that, so he's he's also 1-0 too. So it seems kind of unfortunate to have only given up 1 hit, but be charged with the loss and have an ERA of 9. But he's plenty of time to bring that down. As he's coming in relief now in the 5th inning for Randy Wynn. So 4 2/3 innings pitched for Randy Wynn. Four hits against him, 3 runs, only 2 of which were earned, 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. So now Riley Palmer will step in. 0 for 2 yet today, as the first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1 on the outside corner. And the throw back to the mound by Johnson is a wild one.
Wow thing.
As Palmer waits on the 0-1 pitch. And he swings and fouls that one on the ground by the home team dugout. 0-2 now.
As Woolley pump up the fans here.
So 0-2 now on Riley Palmer with 2 outs. A man on third. The 0-2 pitch is in there for a strike, so he strikes him out looking to end the inning. But the Westside Woolly Mammoths strike first, driving in 3 runs and taking a 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the 5th. Leading off in the bottom of the 5th for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers will be the center fielder DeAndre Clark, followed by the third baseman Dan Cannon and the first baseman Nick Wilson. And we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 5th inning, where the Beavers look to retaliate us after the Westside Woolly Mammoths took a 3-0 lead. DeAndre Clark is going to lead it off. He is 1 for 2 today with a single in his last plate appearance. He shows bunt there. He's called for a strike, 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch is in. Going to be outside, 1-1 now. That was a fastball at 86 miles an hour. David Ernst will return to the mound. Hits the same spot again, but also called a ball, 2-1. Comes the 2-1 pitch. One's high. 3-1 on him. A 3-1 pitch. He's going to ground that one over the head of it, David Ernst, but to the second baseman, Fuhr. But it was a slow grounder, so he was able to leg that one out and get an infield single.
Next up, the third baseman, number 10, Dan Cannon.
So Dan Cannon will step in now with a runner at first and no outs. He struck out today and flew out to Farrell his last time up. And the first pitch to Farrell is going to drive up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. So back-to-back base hits to start the inning. And the Beavers look to get something going now. So runners in scoring position for the power hitter Nick Wilson.
As a right-hander begins to warm up for the Woolly Mammoths in their bullpen.
He is 0 for 0 today, as he has not technically had an official at-bat yet. Both his plate appearances today, he's walked. And those umbrellas are still open over there, so...
It's hard to see.
Yes, it looks like a right... no, it's a lefty that's warming up.
Oh,
right
yeah,
now.
you're right. Lefty.
Beavers fan!
Where my Beavers fans at?
Here's the first pitch to Nick Wilson. Going to be low for a ball, 1-0. Nick Wilson with an easy day at the plate today, drawing walks on both of his plate appearances so far. Denandre Clark is at second, and Dan Kennan is at first. As that one's going to be in for a ball, 2-0 now on Nick Wilson.
As the fans begin to clap here.
Trying to get pumped up for the Beavers. Here comes the 1-0. Going to be in there for a strike. 2-1 now. Correction, there's 2 balls on him. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's going to drive that one up the middle, and it's going to be caught. And they're going to force the out at second as the runner, Denandre Clark, will advance to third. That one took an odd bounce that Ken Blackstone wasn't expecting, but he was able to react in time and catch it over his head. He thought it was going to be a one-hopper into his glove, but it bounced really high.
Had to adjust the glove.
Yeah, he had to shoot it up in the air, but still managed to force the out at second. So Nick Wilson will hit into a fielder's choice. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound as the manager, Shane McCaddy, will converge.
I think it's just to give whoever's warming up in the Woolly Mammoths bullpen, that lefty, a little bit more time.
I think you're right on that.
I think it is Sean Kennedy warming up for the Woolly Mammoths.
We've seen Sean Kennedy already a couple times this season. He's pitched pretty well in his multiple appearances. So the meeting is over at the mound, and Nick Buckner will stand in. 0 for 2 today, grounded out to second base his last time up. And the first pitch to Buckner is in for a ball, 1-0. Buckner with a chance to get the Beavers their first run of the ball game. They're down 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And he's going to ground that one over to the third baseman, who's going to get the force at second. And they're going to throw it on the first, but not get it. So a run will score as Nick Buckner hits into a fielder's choice.
The designated hitter, number 4, Bobby San Martin.
Second fielder's choice of this inning.
Yes, it is. Actually, the second consecutive one as well. Ground out RBI. Well, fielder's choice RBI.
Yep.
As the first pitch to Bobby San Martin is a ball, 1-0. Steve, you can't get an RBI in fielder's choice, right? I don't know. I don't think you can. I'm going to have to double check. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung and missed. 1-1 now. There's 2 men out with a runner at first base. And the Beavers have gotten on the board now. It's 3-1 they trail. And the 1-1 is delivered. He's going to swing and miss at that one as well. 1-2 now.
Very cut swing there. Powerful cut.
He's swung and missed on 2 of them now. Clearly not getting the pitches that he wants. Nick Buckner getting his team on the board, grounding into a fielder's choice that drove home DeAndre Clark from third. And the 1-2 pitch is flown foul, the right side of home plate, into the stands.
Hit something loud.
It hit the bar at the top of the bleachers, the benches, the seats.
I can't see
Grandstand,
from my
whatever they're
angle.
called.
You got a better view.
1 for 2. Yes,
that
I do,
one.
and I actually, that one hit the. It's not like a bar. It's where the fans sit up there. I can't remember the name of that. I'm drawing a blank. Here comes the 1-2. Oh, he's going to fly that one down the left field line, but that's going to land in the Beavers' bullpen, so it'll remain 1-2. He got a good piece of that one, but he was a little bit early, driving it foul.
And one of the relief pitchers in the Beavers using his hat tried and catch it.
And unsuccessfully so, Dan. So Bobby said Martin will stand back in. Drink rail is what I'm being told the name of that is.
Nice to know.
It is nice to know. Here comes the 1-2. It's going to be high, 2-2. For the life of me, I just could not remember what that was called. Sometimes these words slip from your mind.
And you draw a blank. I do that a lot as well.
Comes the 2-2 pitch. It's going to hit that one foul. Way high in the air. As McVicker's going to come over and make the catch. So the Beavers are able to retaliate with one of their own, but the Mammoths still lead it 3-1. As we have put 5 in the books here at Jimmy John's Field. We're going to the top of the 6th inning. We're due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths as the DH Hagen Willie, followed by right fielder Jordan Barnes and first baseman Tyler McVicker, who made that final catch just moments ago. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 6th inning, and we have over half the game done, and the Westside Woolly Mammoths have a 3-1 lead. Both 5 hits apiece, and the Beavers have the only error of the ball game. Started leading off for the Beavers, or the Westside Woolly Mammoths, I should say, is Hagen Wilkie. Struck out in both his plate appearances today as he fouls the first pitch off, 0-1 on him. As Cam McKenzie comes out. He got the last out in the last inning.
Had to be a strikeout.
Be 1-1 now on Hagen Wilkie. Yeah, he struck out, and he got the final out after he came in relief of Randy Wynn, who went 4 2/3 with 2 earned runs. Or 3 earned runs, correction.
On 88 pitches.
And that's going to get away from Johnson, but not very far as he throws a poor ball back to the mound. So this will be 1-2 on Hagen Wilkie.
So while one ball gets away, it gets away again.
Yeah, it's almost. I think it's the second time he's thrown one away like that back to the mound. Luckily, there's no one on base ever. This is the 1-2 pitch. He's going to drive that one up the middle, but pretty much right to DeAndre Clark in center field. He took a step to his left, and it took a step back to his right. Made the play.
Kind of like a little dance move.
Yeah, he didn't have to move. His hit right to him. It was good contact, nice piece of hitting, but unfortunately, right to him. Unfortunately for Hagen Wilkie, that is. So the first pitch to Jordan Barnes is low for a ball, 1-0. He's 0 for 2 today as well, grounding out in both his plate appearances so far. Last time he grounded to the mound where Randy Wynn made the play. So the 1-0 comes in. A little bit outside, 2-0 now. Comes the 2-0 pitch. Checks his swing and being for a ball, 3-1 or 3-0. Here comes the throw pitch. He's going to ground that one down the third base line. Going to stay fair for Dan Kennan, who's going to throw it down to first and get him. So 2 up, 2 down for Cam McKenzie here in the 6th inning. As Tyler McVicker will come to the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. Came around to score his last time out. As his entrance song, walk-up song, is Backstreet Boys.
Boy band was on Thursday night.
Seems like he didn't get the memo that it's over yet. So Tyler McVicker will see his first pitch, in for a strike, 0-1. Many of McVicker's teammates just call him Vic, Dan, as a nickname. It's pretty clear where the roots of that one are from, because that one's in for a strike, 0-2. It's cut to the extent that if you look at the lineup card that manager Shane McCaddy writes, he just writes Vic instead of Tyler or McVicker. It took us a little bit of translating, and,
Yeah, it sure did.
we felt kind of dumb after we figured out that was McVicker today, as he calls for time. 0 for 2 on him.
Had to ask you twice. Who's Vic?
Yeah, is it a new player? As that one's in for a ball, 1-2. And then, like I said, Dan, we just kind of felt a little foolish afterwards when we realized it was McVicker. Comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to swing and miss, and he's going to strike him out. Cam McKenzie coming on in relief has a 1-2-3 inning, and we're going to go to the bottom of the sixth inning where the Westside Woolly Mammoths have a 3-1 lead over the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Leading off for the Beavers in the bottom of the 6th is the left fielder John Crank, followed by the catcher Lewis Johnson and shortstop DJ Martinez. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 6th inning, where we have a pitching change. David Ernest is done for the day. Goes 5 innings pitched with 5 hits, 1 earned run. So that's a good stat. Only 1 earned run on him. That is his first earned run of the season. 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. So while his earned runs are good, he had 5 hits and 4 walks. So those are something he wants to keep down and look at his next appearance. But overall,
great outing.
5 innings for him. He was able to work out of a few jams. And the first pitch to John Crank is in. It's a ball, 1-0. And Sean Kennedy is our new reliever. A lefty for the Mammoths. And as he hits that one foul, 1-1 now.
We have seen Kennedy before. He has 11 innings pitch. Does have a loss. He's given up 11 hits, has 6 strikeouts, and 8 runs that were earned. And a 6.55 ERA.
6.55?
Yep.
Not necessarily an ideal ERA as the 1-1 pitch comes in. Swing and miss out of John Crank, 1-2 now. And here comes the 1-2. Down low. Count is even now, 2-2.
As Mr. Appleby, the owner of this beautiful stadium, makes his rounds greeting the fans.
Comes the 1-2. He's going to foul that one behind home plate. It'll remain 2-2. Comes the 2-2. Outside.
Sean Kennedy from Slidell, Louisiana. Did his college ball at Virginia Tech.
He's going to hit that one up the middle, but it's going to be corralled by Blackstone. Tossed down to McVicker. It's going to be 1 gone here in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Next up, the catcher, number 19, Lewis Johnson.
So Lewis Johnson will step in. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out to the mound his last time up. And the first pitch Johnson see, he fouls. 0-1 now. Comes the 0-1 pitch to Johnson. Going to be low for a ball, 1-1 as Kraus tries to find it. The 1-1. Inside, ball 2-1. The Westside Woolly Mammoths currently lead this game 3-1. They had got all 3 of those runs in the 5th inning. Here comes the 2-1. He's going to foul that ball down the third base line. The Beavers responded with one of their own in the bottom of the 5th, but it wasn't enough. So it's still a 3-1 ball game. The Beavers have a chance to add a little more on here and possibly tie the game in the bottom of the 6th inning. They have no men on, though, with 1 out. As he hits that one back to the mound where Kennedy is going to throw it over to first nearly too high, but Nick Ricker's able to make the catch.
Hey fans, that great play was Hanson's 1-800 get it done play of the day. Let's hear it for the Woolly Mammoths.
So DJ Martinez will step in with bases clear and 2 outs. This team trails 3-1. 5 hits apiece, though. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat to Martinez. It's going to be inside. Called a strike, though. 0-1. And he swings and misses at that one. 0-2. The 0-2. He's going to drive that one down the third base line, but just barely foul. So DJ Martinez will have to return to the plate, and the count will remain at 0-2. That one skirted the line there, as Riley Palmer made a desperate play to try and get that one, but ended up landing foul anyways. Comes the 0-2 pitch. It's going to fly that one into right field, pretty shallow, as Barnes is going to come over and make the play. So it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning in relief for Sean Kennedy.
Great job by him.
As each one of those outs, 2 of them were ground outs, 1 of them was a fly ball. And it's going to be a 3-1 lead for the Westside Woolly Mammoths going into the top of the 7th inning, where they are up to bat. Leading off for them is the catcher Nick Kraus, followed by the second baseman RJ Fear and center fielder Jabba Farrell. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 7th inning. Brian Fisher and Dan Dobler here in this matchup between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Up to bat is Nick Kraus. His last 2 times up, he flew out to center and hit for a single and eventually came around to score. The first pitch to Kraus is inside for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch, high for a ball, 2-0 now. Cam McKenzie came in relief for Randy Wynn back in the 5th inning. Has gone 1 2/3 to this point, getting all 4 of the men he's faced out.
2 of them were strikeouts.
1 looking, 1 swinging. And here comes the 2-0. He's going to pop that one high in the air, right above home plate as Johnson backs up, but he couldn't find it, so it's going to be an infield.
The Sun wins the battle again.
Yeah, the Sun won the battle again. That'll be an infield single for Nick Kraus.
Next up, the second baseman, number 6, RJ Fear.
And he hit that one about as high in the air as you can imagine and pretty much straight up. But Johnson lost it in the sun and it landed about a foot behind him. Didn't even get onto the grass in front of home plate. As there's going to be a meeting at the mound now. And, of course, it sounds like I jinxed it again because I said that he had 4 consecutive outs and immediately gets a single hit against him.
Brian.
You don't give me that. You jinxed us earlier today, too. As there's going to be a meeting at the mound. Beavers manager Chris Newell is out there as well.
No comment.
There's action in both bullpens right now.
Chris Newell is not happy after that
Gaff.
infield single there. That should have been an easy out.
Can't imagine the words he said were very pleasant out there on the mound either. You could tell just by the nonverbals that he was, to put it kindly, quite displeased. Here comes the first pitch to R.J. Fuhr. Low for a ball, 1-0. Comes the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. 1-1 now on R.J. Fuhr. His last 2 times up, he grounded out both times. He's 0 for 2 on the day. The 1-1 pitch is in, and he's going to ground that one over to the third base, Dan Kennan. They'll get the force at second, but not the force at first, as that ball is going to get away. But Nick Krause or R.J. Fuhr will not try it. So it'll be a fielder's choice for him. And one away here in the top of the 7th inning.
After Dan Kennan had to come in for that one, what a strong throw by him to get that force hit.
So Jabba Farrell will step in. He's 0 for 2 today, 2 strikeouts, walked his last time up. He did, however, come around to score. And he's going to drive that one to center field. It's going to be a fly ball, catchable for DeAndre Clark. 2 away now as R.J. Fuhr retreats back to first base.
Next up, the shortstop, number 9, Kent Blackstone.
So Kent Blackstone will get a 4th plate appearance here in the ball game. He had a single with 2 RBI in his last plate appearance, giving his team the lead. As the first pitch to him is going to be low for a ball, 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Low and outside, in the dirt actually. 2-0 on Kent Blackstone.
Great job by Lewis Johnson staying in front of it.
Both catchers have done a fairly good job of making sure these balls don't get very far away from them when they end up in the dirt. R.J. Fuhr with a decent lead over there at first base, as that one's high for a ball, 3-0.
He does have speed on the base pads. We've seen him still a couple times already this season.
Nick Wilson staying on the bag over there at first base, ready for a throw over if McKenzie so chooses. Comes the 3-0 pitch. High, so on 4 pitches he's going to walk him, and now the Westside Woolly Mammoths have a runner in scoring position as the walk advances R.J. Fuhr to second. So Jeff Smith will step on. He also has an RBI in the day. He sacked Flew in his last time up. So he has a sac fly, a walk, a base hit, and a steal today. So he's been very active. We have runners at first and second, R.J. Fuhr at second, and Kent Blackstone at first. And the first pitch to Smith is going to be in for a strike, 0-1. R.J. Fuhr with a pretty significant lead over there at second base. Or at least he did. We'll see if he gets back to that position now. Comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Jeff Smith taking his time getting back in the batter's box. Here comes the 1-1. Down low for a ball, 2-1 now. Westside Woolly Mammoths have the lead 3-1 here in this ball game. There are 2 men on with 2 outs. 2-1 count to Jeff Smith. Came into the ball game batting .292. Looking to give his team an even bigger lead. He swings and misses on that one. 2-2. That was a big cut, Dan.
It sure was.
He looked like he was really hoping that was something he could drive deep.
And he adjusts his batting gloves right after that big cut, which most batters do.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Swings and misses at that one, so he's going to strike him out the end of the inning. So the Westside Woolly Mammoths threaten but don't score, and we've played 6.5 innings here at Jimmy John's Field. Due up for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in the bottom of the 7th inning is DeAndre Clark, Dan Kennan, and Nick Wilson, and it is 7th inning stretch time. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And leading off for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers is Thomas Rulis.
Brian, did you get your good stretch in?
I did get a good 7th inning stretch in.
I did too.
The first pitch is in for a strike, 0-1.
Thomas very Rulis. Fast one. Very fast 7th inning stretch.
Oh, yeah. The band playing it a little bit up-tempo. And Thomas Rulis is 0 for 1 today. He had a walk back in the 2nd inning.
I apologize for interrupting you there.
Oh, don't worry about it, Dan. It's all good. It's quickly 0-2 now on Thomas Rulis. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He's going to hit that one foul into the stands, right side of home plate. And that's going to take a one-hop bounce into the hands of a fan on the staircase. So it'll remain 0-2. Comes the 0-2 pitch. Ooh. And that's going to be inside. 1-2.
Weird pitch there.
Yes, it was.
Ball hit the dirt, and also hit the batter a little bit.
We've seen quite a few balls in the dirt today as he flies that one to center field. But Joe Farrell's going to be able to get underneath it. So it'll be 1 out here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Next up, Beaver fans, your center fielder, number 26, DeAndre Clark.
So the center fielder, DeAndre Clark, will step in. He's 2 for 3 today, 2 singles. DeAndre Clark taking this at bat as a righty. Be 1-0 now on him. Earlier in the ball game, he batted as a lefty, so he's switching it up depending on the situation. Here's the 1-0. Checked a swing on that one, but it was in for a strike nonetheless. 1-1.
A great skill to have as a batter.
Most definitely, as the 1-1 pitch comes in, he's going to pop that one over the head of the pitcher, but the shortstop makes a play over, but he throws it away. But DeAndre Clark is not going to try for second, as he was trying his best just to leg that one out, so he had all his momentum carrying him past the bag.
Now batting the third baseman, number 10, Dan Kennett.
Blackstone's footing was off balance there.
So it will count as an infield single for DeAndre Clark, as he was looking to leg out that throw anyways. Like you said, Dan, the throw from Blackstone was a little off the mark, and McVicker had to try and dive for it and couldn't make the catch. And the first pitch to Kennan is going to be called a strike, 0-1. We got one out with one on now in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The Mammoths trail 3-1. He's going to take a peek over at first, and the pitch is in for a ball. 1-1 now. McVicker's going to stay stationed over there at first in case there's a throw over, because DeAndre Clark's getting a healthy lead over there. He's got a lot of speed on the base paths. As you can see, he's legged out 2 infield singles today. And that's going to be a strike, 1-2 now. Dan Kennan reached on a base hit his third time up today. Eventually got thrown out in a force out at second. They're going to throw over to first, but Clark's going to get back in time. As the 1-2 pitch comes in, he's going to hit that one up the middle, but Blackstone will get it, get one out, but throw that one away again. So now Dan Kennan's going to advance all the way to second on the play, and he's going to be safe there.
We have seen this happen quite a few times with the Roy Mammoths.
That's the second time in a row Ken Blackstone has thrown the ball away down to first.
Should have been an easy double play.
That time will qualify as an error, I believe. Either that or a fielder's choice. Either way, Dan Kennan's not going to get a hit for that one. And it will be scored an error on Blackstone's part.
Actually, R.J. Fures.
You're right, R.J. Fuhr is the one who had the ball from second base. And here comes the first pitch to Nick Wilson. He's got a runner in scoring position, a chance to cut this deficit down to 1 run. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. Inside. 2-0. We've seen this pretty much all game. They pitch to the inside of Nick Wilson because he's so tall and keeps his hands high as well. So it would take a lot of extra effort to swing that bat on for an inside pitch. Comes the 2-0. He's going to swing on that one, but chop it foul on the right side of home plate. 2-1 now. Nick Wilson is 0 for 1 today. He has drawn 2 walks and hit into a fielder's choice. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. He swings and misses. A big cut at that one at a ball high. So it'll be 2-2. And he looked like he was swinging for the fences there, Dan.
Yeah,
He's
which
trying
we've
to,
seen a lot.
yeah, it looked like he was trying to tie the ball game with one swing of the bat.
He does have 2 home runs.
Here comes the 2-2. Gonna be low. Count is full. 3-2 now. We got a runner on second with 2 outs. The game is 3-1 in favor of the Westside Woolly Mammoths. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Way outside. That wasn't even close to the strike zone, so that'll be the third walk of the game for Nick Wilson.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Nick Buckner.
So Nick Buckner will come up with 2 men on and 2 out. The potential tying run at first base. Buckner is 0 for 3 today, hit into a fielder's choice. His last time up, drove home a run in that fielder's choice. And here comes the first pitch. Going to be outside for a ball, 1-0. As Sean Kennedy is beginning to lose control here. And there's going to be a short meeting at the mound between him and Kraus.
Kraus had to get up and get that one. That was in the dirt.
So he'll return to home plate now after the quick conversation. As McVicker and Nick Wilson are talking over there at first base, having a nice little chat. Comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to hit that one. Ooh, off the glove of McVicker at first, and that's going to allow a run to score as that one bounces all the way to the outfield.
I believe that was off his ankle.
I think it hit, I'm not sure, you might be right. I thought it hit the palm of his glove. So Dan Kennan will score on that. So it's now a 3-2 ball game with 2 outs. Nick Wilson advances to second base. He's going to be meeting at the mound, and Shane McCaddy's going to come out. He's going to take the ball from him. So we're going to have a pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Sean Kennedy goes 1 2/3 innings. And that'll be scored an error on McVicker's part. So it won't be an earned run for Sean Kennedy. We've had 2 errors this inning for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Oh, I'm sorry, the Westside Woolly Mammoths have committed both those errors.
Mm-hmm.
Have your attention, please. Now pitching for the Westside Wolfpack from Richmond, Virginia, number 13, Travis McQueen.
Travis McQueen is our new pitcher. He got the save in substitution for Joel Sharon on Friday night's game,
Lightning McQueen,
as you like to call him. He came into a bases-loaded situation on Saturday. It was the bottom of the 9th inning. The Utica Unicorns were down 6-4, and the bases were loaded with no outs. Travis McQueen came in and went 1-2-3. So he's looking to do something similar here today, except the situation isn't quite as dire, as it's not the bottom of the 9th. Instead, it's the bottom of the 7th. And the final line on Sean Kennedy is going to be 1 2/3 innings pitched. He only gave up 1 hit, and the 1 run scored against him was not earned, as it came off 2 consecutive errors from his infielders, and gave up 1 walk but no strikeouts. So as that ball is thrown away, and all the runners will advance on a wild pitch by Travis McQueen. So 1-0 now on Bobby San Martin.
Too much lightning on that pitch.
All right, that one got a genuine laugh out of me. That was actually pretty clever. 1-0 now on Bobby San Martin. So you really can't blame Sean Kennedy for the one run that was scored against him because his infield defense kind of shut down. So with 2 outs, men on second and third, the Beavers could tie the ball game and even take the lead, as that one's going to be in for a strike. 1-1 now. Here comes the 1-1 pitch outside. Paints the outside corner. 1-2 now. Bobby San Martin still waits for the 1-2. Here it comes. He's going to swing and a miss. So Travis McQueen will come in relief of Sean Kennedy and get out of the jam. The Beavers do manage to score a run, though, and shrink the deficit to 3-2. So going to the top of the 8th inning, due up for the Westside Woolly Mammoths is Riley Palmer, followed by Hagan Wilkie and Jordan Barnes. We'll be back shortly.
The third baseman, number 3, Riley Palmer.
Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 8th inning. Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers currently trail the Westside Woolly Mammoths 3-2. They were able to get one more run in the last half inning. And the the Woolly Mammoths are up to bat. Leading off is Riley Palmer. We have a pitching change. Mike Doloff is in. And Dan, he's got a... I can't read my own handwriting, Dan. You have to go with this one.
He has 3 innings pitched, does have a loss of the season, has given up 4 hits, has 2 strikeouts, has given up 5 runs, which were earned, and a 15 ERA.
Thank you, Dan, for
You're welcome.
doing what I could not. And here
back.
comes the first pitch to Riley Palmer. In there for a ball, 1-0 now. Comes the 1-0 pitch. He's going to sky that one way high in the air for the 3rd time, pretty much right behind home plate. And Kennan's going to come in and make the play. He's going to get a loud roar of applause.
Definitely had a change direction a little bit there to get that one.
He had a round of applause just because this is the third time it's been hit right above home plate, and they finally made the play. So now Hagen Wilkie will step in. He is 0 for 3 today as well, grounded out in all 3 plate appearances. And Hagen Wilkie on the first pitch is going to sky this one in foul territory. Nick Wilson's going to come over to make the catch, and called off by Thomas Rulis, could not make the catch.
And Nick Wilson is frustrated.
I think Nick Wilson might have gotten that
Yes,
one,
he
but
would
Thomas
have.
Rulis came in charging and called him off, and the ball ended up getting dropped in the infield.
One of those, are you kidding?
So I'm sure Shane McCaddy, or I'm sorry, Chris Newell, the manager for the Beavers, is not going to be very happy. Going to probably have some choice words with them as they drop another ball in foul territory. So 0-1 on Hagen Wilkie. And the first pitch to Hagen Wilkie is going to be in for a strike. I'm sorry, the second pitch. It's 0-2 now. And the final line on Cam McKenzie's day is he went 2 1/3 innings pitched with 1 hit and no earned runs, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. So he does his job very, very well. And it's going to go 1-2 now on Hagen Wilkie. And swinging a miss, and he's going to go down on strikes. Hagen Wilkie strikes out swinging. And 2 quick outs now for Mike Doloff. So Jordan Barnes will step in now. He's 0 for 3 on the day as well. He's going to drive that one up the middle. It's going to get through for a base hit, so Jordan Barnes will reach with 2 outs.
Next up, the first baseman, number 22, Tyler McVicker.
So Tyler McVicker will step in. Committed an error in the last half inning defensively, which allowed a run to score. So he's looking to make up for that now with a runner at first base and 2 outs. First pitch to him is going to be outside, 1-0 now. And the 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0 now. As Tyler McVicker is 1 for 3 today, 2 for 3 today. My bad. He has 2 base hits and a strikeout swinging. So here comes the 2-0. Down low, 3-0. Oh, that one's called for a strike. So it's 2-1 actually. So while McVicker is struggling defensively, having committed an error, he's actually doing very well at the plate today. Comes the 2-1 pitch. In their first strike, count is even, 2-2. Jordan Barnes is down there at first base after singling up the middle in the last plate appearance.
Not too big of a lead.
No, he's not getting very far out there. Nick Wilson staying at first, ready for a throw over. Here's the 2-2. He's going to drive that one fouled on the first base line into the Westside Woolly Mammoths bullpen. So it'll remain even at 2 apiece. As Jordan Barnes retreats back to first. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Woolly Mammoths lead the game 3-2. And he swings and foul tips that one into the face mask of Lewis Johnson behind home plate. And he's shaken up a bit by it as he looks to walk it off.
You have to worry there with the concussions as well. With that type of
being a catcher is a dangerous job.
Yeah,
you have
it
to be
is.
kind of nuts to willingly let someone throw 90-mile-an-hour pitches at you.
He does go with the hockey style goalie mask. But
Which is smart in my decision, as Chris Newell comes out for a quick visit, and we have a trainer coming out as well.
obviously checking his nose, making sure.
He nods that he says he's
Yeah.
okay. Just probably had to shake off, probably had his ears ringing. So he will return back to home plate to put his gear back on.
On behalf of Lewis Johnson.
And we are about to resume play now, after Lewis Johnson took a ball off the face mask. Tyler McVicker is up to bat. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 man on. And that ball is going to be high. Count goes to the full, 3-2 now. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. The runner goes. That ball is going to be skied in the air into foul territory. Nick Wilson goes over to make the catch. And, he's going to bounce it off his glove and into the stands. And that's like the 4th time today, Dan, that the Beavers have failed to make a catch in foul territory. How many times would they have gotten out of the inning if they would have caught those?
Quite a few.
I mean, well, at least at this situation, and I think once last inning, too.
He had to rearrange his glove trying to do a basket catch. But
It
couldn't.
literally bounced in and out of his hands.
Yes.
So Tyler McVicker's going to get a second chance here, and the count's still 3-2. The runner goes. He's going to hit that one foul on the third base line. So that will remain 3-2. And it's turning into a long at-bat for Mike Doloff, who came in relief appearance of Cam McKenzie. And the 3-2 pitch is going to be grounded over to the third base. And they're going to throw Tyler McVicker out at first and get out of the inning. So Mike Doloff comes in and he does his job. No runs scored. So the Mammoths only have a 3-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning, where the Beavers are going to look to tie the ball game up. So up to bat for the Beavers in the bottom half of the 8th inning will be the left fielder John Crank, followed by the catcher Lewis Johnson and the shortstop DJ Martinez. So we will be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom of the 8th inning.
Pretty close game we have here.
Yes, it is, as the Mammoths are leading 3-2. The Beavers have 6 outs to tie this ball game and possibly take the lead. As John Crank steps in, he is 1 for 3 today. He has a base hit. And the first pitch to him is going to be low for a ball, 1-0. As Travis McQueen stays on the mound, getting the final out in the last inning. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. That was flied foul down by the Beavers dugout. So 1-1 now.
In which I like to call him Travis Lightning McQueen.
Is it Lightning McQueen or Travis Lightning McQueen?
Travis Lightning McQueen.
You got to decide on one, buddy.
But,
nah, I'm just teasing you. Comes the 1-1 outside 2-1. What were you saying, Dan?
But I may finish sometimes with Lightning McQueen. I might not want to finish his whole name out.
Here comes the 2-1. He flies that one to left center field. And Smith takes a couple steps to his left and makes the catch. So it's going to be one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And with a last name like McQueen, Dan, he sounds like a rock star.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Definitely.
you make the reference Lightning McQueen to the
movie
Cars,
played by Owen Wilson.
which is getting a 3rd movie now.
I saw the
Very
first
popular.
and second one.
I did not see the second one. I only saw the first one. I saw it like 3 times, though, as the first pitch to Johnson is skied in the air to shallow center field. And Farrell's going to get underneath it, so it's going to be 2 quick outs for Travis McQueen.
Yeah, Farrell called him off there.
Yeah, Blackstone was backing up to get it, but Farrell came in and made the catch. DJ Martinez will come into bat now. His 0 for 2 today. He had a walk back in the 3rd inning, but was caught stealing.
I just noticed his walk-up song is by Eric Church. It's called Creepin'.
You know your country songs very well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And that's a strike to DJ Martinez, 0-1. I used to be really big into country when I was younger because that's what my dad listened to, that and 80s rock. I still like some country, but mostly the older ones, as that one is Outside, 1-1.
By Kenny Chesney.
Kenny Chesney, Toby Keith, those are big ones. Those are the ones I used to listen to. I still listen to. Trace Adkins. Here comes the 1-1. It's going to be in for a strike, 1-2. But, yeah, Dan, mostly nowadays I like to listen to electronic music. I don't
Yes, I noticed that.
know. Yeah,
You drove me one time.
Here's the 1-2. It's going to be outside. Count is even, 2-2.
Drove to the restaurant together.
Well, we've known each other for, at least a year now.
Yes, we have.
Worked together at the college radio station and now here at the ballpark as well. But I pretty much like everything. I go through these phases where I like one or the other more. And that's going to be a ball, so the count is full, 3-2 now on DJ Martinez. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no men on. The Beavers trail 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. And that's going to be outside, so he's going to walk him. So with Martinez's walk, it's going to be the first man on base for the Beavers in this half inning.
Next up, the second baseman, number 13, Thomas Rules.
So Thomas Rulis will step up to the plate. He's a lefty. He is 0 for 2 today. He has a walk. And the potential tying run is over there at first base. And here comes the first pitch to Rulis. He's going to fly that one, base hit up the middle, and that'll advance the base runner. So now the potential tying run is in scoring position at second base off the base hit single by Thomas Rulis.
It was a hard hit single.
Blackstone made a dive to try and get that one, but could not corral it. So now the leadoff man, DeAndre Clark.
That would be the first hit off of McQueen.
Yes, yeah, that is correct. He had his first walk followed by his first hit. And DeAndre Clark is 3 for 4 today. He has 3 base hits. His last 2 base hits were infield singles, showing his speed. Here comes the first pitch to him. It's going to be in there for a ball. We have runners at first and second. The potential go-ahead run is at first, and that is Thomas Rulis. DJ Martinez is at second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. A big rip as he's down on one knee now. Thinking about why he swung at that. 1-1. And here comes the 1-1. He's going to fly that one up the middle. And they're gonna try DJ Martinez to home, but it's gonna be off the mark, so that's gonna tie the ball game. So it's gonna be an RBI single, no RBI double, no RBI single. Had it right the first time. RBI single for DeAndre Clark.
We are all tied up.
And we were all tied up 3 apiece. Yeah, that's right, Dan. So Dan Cannon will step in now with the go-ahead run at second base. And the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers have tied the ball game in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Here comes the first pitch to McKinnon. It's going to be a ball, 1-0. The Hoppers, my bad.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. The Beavers have gotten runs in the 5th, 7th, and 8th, but the Mammoths have kept all their runs to just the 5th inning as that ball is flied foul into the stands behind home plate. 1-1 on Dan Cannon. Dan Cannon is 1 for 4 today. He had a base hit back in the 5th inning as that's a ball outside. 2-1 now. As Dan Cannon waits on the 2-1 pitch. And he's going to swing and ground that one over the third baseman, Palmer, who's going to toss down and get him. But not before the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers tie this ball game.
We have an exciting game here.
So it's going to be 3-3 going to the top of the 9th inning where the Westside Woolly Mammoths are due up. And leading off for them in the top of the 9th inning is the catcher Nick Krause, followed by the second baseman R.J. Fuhr and the center fielder Jabba Farrell. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the top of the 9th inning. We have a newly tied ball game, 3-3, after the Beavers tied it up in the bottom of the 8th. Nick Krause is up to bat, and the first pitch he sees is low for a ball, 1-0. He is 2 for 3 today, Dan. He is got a base hit in his last 2 at-bats. In the latest one, it was an infield single.
So very productive.
Getting that batting average up from 167. And it's 2-0 now. He came around to score in the 5th inning. in the second of what would be 3 earned runs against Randy Wynn. And that's going to get away from Lewis Johnson, be 3-0. As Mike Doloff returns to the mound for his second inning of work.
One gave up 1 hit and has a strikeout.
Here comes the 3-0. It's going to be in there for a strike, 3-1.
As kids get ready for the helicopter candy drop they're apparently doing after the bottom of the 9th.
Regardless of whether or not this ends up going into extras, they are going to do the candy drop at the bottom of the 9th inning.
Or after, I think. Is it before or after?
After the bottom of the 9th. So, here comes the 3-1 pitch. He's going to ground that one foul. Go to 3-2. Count is full now. So, good job by Mike Doloff to get back in this one and make it 3-2 after he got behind 3-0.
Maybe Steve, our writer here, he's down there. Maybe he can get us some candy.
I'm not sure if he would qualify for the drop though, because he's not a child anymore. Well,
yeah,
maybe
true.
Mentally, not physically.
Maybe I can. I'm that short.
3-2. Ooh, that ball's gonna be inside, so he's gonna walk him. So the Mammoths have 1 man on with no out in the top of the 9th inning. He's the potential go-ahead run for the Mammoths.
I'm short enough. Maybe I can qualify. Do I look old enough?
No, you look like a grown man.
Oh.
So now RJ Fear will step in. Reached last time on a fielder's choice. 0 for 3 today.
Just known for getting on base because of walks. That is.
Yeah, he's only batting coming in today a .063 and still doesn't have a hit. He shows bunt. And it's going to be in for a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Gonna swing and foul that one in the netting. Be 0-2 now. The Mammoths had a 3-2 lead going into the 8th inning before DeAndre Clark had an RBI single with 2 outs. So the game is now tied. Here comes the 0-2. Outside, 1-2 now. RJ Fear didn't even have to think about swinging at that one as it was so far outside that he didn't even really give it a glance. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He's going to swing and fly that one. Base hit into right field. And that'll advance the base runner. So now with no outs, the Wool Mammoths have a runner in scoring position and a chance to take the lead back.
Next up is center fielder number 7, Joe Farrell.
So Jabba Farrell will step in. He is 0 for 3 today, drawing a walk back in the 5th inning. And a chance to give his team the lead as Nick Krause, my apologies, is on second base. Nick Krause had a steal back in the 5th inning. Here comes the first pitch to Farrell. Be low for a ball, 1-0. And there's going to be a quick meeting at the mound because Mike Doloff's tosses have been, his balls, on the other hand, have been quite outside the zone, and Lewis Johnson has had to make leaping plays to stop them every time. There's a lefty warming up in the Beavers bullpen. Comes the 1-0 pitch. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Called a strike, though.
I do have a name of the lefty. It is Jared Koenig.
Koenig.
Oh, Coing. Jared Coing. That is.
Jared Coing. And it's not, we've seen him already before this season. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Shows bunt. Going to be called a strike. 1-2 on Jabba Farrell. No outs, 2 men on in the top of the 9th inning. Tied ball game 3-3. Mammoths look to take the lead here. if the number 1 hitter, Jabba Farrell, can drive it home. He's going to show bunt, pull it back, and that's going to get away from Lewis Johnson and let both runners advance. So it's going to go count as even 2-2, and men on second and third now, so a single could bring home 2 runs and give them a 5-3 lead. And there's going to be another conversation on the mound. Probably trying to calm down Mike Doloff. He's had quite a few of them get away from him. So 2-2 count, no men on, runners on second and third with a tie ball game. Jabba Farrell can give his team the lead. He takes for a ball high, 3-2, so full count now.
Not much productivity from Farrell today. Only struck out twice, only walked.
Yeah, his only time on the base paths, Dan, like you mentioned, is his walk. And he swings and misses at that one. So he's going to strike out, his 3rd strikeout swinging of the ball game, completing the hat trick.
I think I jinxed him there.
I think you did as well, Dan. But I won't judge you because I am a good person, unlike you when you judged me earlier for jinxing it.
Just don't tell Howard.
I won't tell him that you jinxed it. So now Kent Blackstone will come on with 1 out. And Chris Newell will walk out and make a pitching change. So Mike Doloff is done. The runners on the base pads are his, though. So if any runs are given up, it will be his earned runs.
He gets applause while he exits.
He goes 1 1/3 innings. Gives up just 2 hits. So far, there's no runs or earned runs, but the runners are inherited, so that could change. He's given up 1 walk and he struck out 2 batters.
Remember, kids, if you would like to participate in the candy drop presented by MC Go, line up in the right field party patio. We will be doing that right after the 9th inning.
Yeah.
The game after the candy drop and the kids run base.
So as we wait for Jared Coing to warm up,
The lefty.
Now pitching for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers from Pappas, California, number 35, Jared Koenig.
and the official announcement over the PA that Jared Koenig is now pitching. And it's a tie ball game, 3-3 in the top of the 9th inning with 1 out. Runners at second and third. R.J. Fuhr at second and Nick Krause at third.
We have seen Koenig before. 5 innings pitch, has given up 4 hits, has 6 strikeouts, and has given up 2 runs which were earned, and has a 3.60 ERA.
Now back to the Westside, Mammoths, shortstop, number 9, Kent Blackstone.
So Kent Blackstone will walk up to the plate now. He has a single and 2 RBI. Also drew a walk today, so 1 for 3. Kent Blackstone with an opportunity to give his team the lead again. Currently, the Tigers are getting no hit and a perfect game against them by the White Sox. So I'm saying that to purposely jinx it because I don't want a perfect game against the Tigers. And that ball's in there for a strike. And Miguel Cabrera, as I say, that singles in the top of the 9th, or top of the 7th.
Man, how good are you?
I'm really good at this jinxing thing. I just got the notification on my phone. So that perfect game is done, thank goodness. That
Way
would
to
be
go,
embarrassing.
Brian.
Here comes the 0-1. 1-1 now. I don't think I could have timed that any more perfect.
You have great time managing skills.
Yeah, Miguel Gonzalez had a perfect game through 6 innings, as that one's outside, 2-1 now. And then Miguel Cabrera just broke it up just now, as I was saying that, with a single. And he scored Andrew Romine, but they still trail 7-1.
Tigers are struggling.
Comes the 2-1. Outside, 3-1 now. And they're really forcing the hand of the Birmingham Beavers, as now they're forced to have to throw a strike. And with runners at second and third, the easy double play is not an option. And here comes the 3-1. He flies that one in the netting. So it's going to be a foul ball, 3-2 now. And things are getting exciting here in the top of the 9th inning with a full count and 1 out.
I'm kind of at the edge of my seat.
Kind of? So
Kind of.
you're
Halfway.
you're like near the front middle.
Yes.
And here comes the 3-2. That's high. He's going to walk him.
Now I'm at the edge of my seat.
Now you're at the edge of your seat. Bases are loaded now with only 1 out. So now the easy double play is an option. They could go 6-4-3 or 4-6-3 or any manner, actually. So Jeff Smith comes on. He has a sac fly, RBI, and a base hit today, a steal, a strikeout, and a walk. So he's done it all pretty much, positive and negative. And he has a chance to play hero here for his team and give them the lead here in the top of the 9th. And the first pitch to him. It's a ball, so it's 1-0 now. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled in the netting behind home plate. 1-1.
The Beavers do have a righty warming up, and it looks like Heldman.
It's the sidearm pitcher. As we wait for the 1-1 with bases loaded, here it comes. Inside, 2-1 now. Jeff Smith had a dodge out of the way of that one. And it's still a 3-3 tie in the top of the 9th inning here. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's going to swing and fly that one down the right field line, but it's going to land in the bullpen for the Woolly Mammoths. So count is even now, 2-2.
You have 2 righties warming up in the Woolly Mammoth bullpen.
Here comes the 2-2. He's going to foul that one into the screen behind home plate. It'll remain 2-2 now.
I think one of them, if the Woolly Mammoths are able to score here, would be their closer.
It'd be smart to warm him up in a situation like this because you're 1 run away from taking, or 1 walk away from taking the lead. Here comes the 2-2. Low, 3-2 now. One more ball could walk a run in. So things are getting very interesting here as bases are loaded with a 3-2 count here in the top of the 9th inning. Jeff Smith has a chance to play hero and give his team the lead. Here comes the 3-2. He's going to fly this one over to right field. Pretty deep, and Buckner's going to come in. They're going to tag up, and they're going to score and take a 4-3 lead in the top of the 9th. And Jeff Smith with a sac fly RBI, his second of the night, got it done. So he's going to return back to the Woolly Mammoths dugout to a round of applause from his teammates. Lots of high fives. So it'll be 2 outs now with runners at the corners, first and third. Riley Palmer steps in.
And his walk-up song is House of the Rising Sun by Eric Burdon and the Animals.
One of those one-hit wonders. And he's going to single that one over to right field, and that's going to score another run as Kent Blackstone's going to make it all the way over to third base. So Riley Palmer hits an RBI single, and the Westside Woolly Mammoths now lead at 5-3. And Hagen Wilkie will step in. He's 0 for 4 today. He's struck out 3 times. Here comes the first pitch to him. Fouled in the netting behind home plate. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and they're going to try and steal for second, and the ball's going to get away from Johnson, so he's going to get in there easily. So now runners are at second and third with 2 outs.
As a helicopter circle around our ball field for the candy drop.
And it's going to be
ready.
0-1 now on Hagen Wilkie. 2 runs have already scored this inning to give the Mammoths the lead, and they can tack on a couple more with a base hit here. It's going to be in there for a strike. He's going to strike him out looking. But the Mammoths do strike. And they take a 5-3 lead here in the top of the 9th, going to the bottom of the 9th. Apparently, we're having our candy drop in the middle of the 9th inning.
That helicopter came quick, so they want to get it done quick so they can finish this ball game.
So we're going to have a little bit of a cliffhanger here as we go to the bottom of the 9th. And the Beavers, it's going to be last call as their 3, 4, 5 hitters are going to be up to bat. Nick Wilson, Nick Buckner, and Bobby San Martin. So we'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, to the bottom half of the 9th inning. I'm sorry for the long delay. We had to get the candy drop in before this incoming rain hits. So now it's time for the bottom half of the 9th, where the Beavers are trailing at 6-4. And due up for them is their power hitter, Nick Wilson. The Westside Woolly Mammoths, Nick and Dan, took the lead in the top half of the 9th inning with 2 RBIs. Both of those attributed to Mike Doloff. As the first pitch to Nick Wilson is inside, 1-0.
Corey Kimber is on now for the Woolly Mammoths.
It's going to be low, 2-0 now. And yeah, Corey Kimber is going to close it out, hopefully, for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. And that's going to be high and outside, 3-0 now on Nick Wilson.
Have you ever seen a helicopter candy drop at a baseball game?
I have not. I heard the Tigers have done it before.
They have?
I think that's what I had heard.
Oh, I thought it was just the first ever.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's going to be in there for a strike, 3-1 now.
Either way, it's great to see the kid go after that candy.
Well, it's good. I just give the kids a good time. It gives them incentive to convince their parents to come back. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. He's going to fly that one way high in the air, behind home plate, and playable. And Cross is going to make the catch, so 1 away now after Nick Wilson pops that one way in the air.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Nick Buckner.
So the final line on Travis McQueen today is going to be 1 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and 1 strikeout. As Corey Kimber comes in and gets a quick out here in the bottom of the 9th, trying to give the Westside Woolly Mammoths a lead, or the victory. Nick Buckner stands in. It's 0 for 4 today. He has an RBI.
Bless you, Brian.
Thank you, as it's 1-0 now.
Allergies acting up?
Nick Buckner, I believe so. Now it's warm again. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's going to be outside again, 2-0 now. As Nick Buckner waits on the 2-0 pitch. Here comes the 2-0. He's going to ground that one over to the second baseman, Fuhr. Toss it down to McVicker, and that's going to be 2 quick outs now, as they are 1 out away from securing the victory. So Bobby San Martin is the last chance for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, as he looks to do anything to get on base.
And if they are unable to come back, they will fall to 3-6 of the season.
Yes, one team will go to 4-5, and the other will go to 3-6. He's 1-4 today. He's got a base hit, and as he fouls that one into the netting. As we wait for the 0-1 pitch, here it comes. Ooh, gonna be inside. He has to twist and dodge out of that one. So it'll be 1-1. And Bobby San Martin waits on the 1-1 pitch. Here it comes. It's gonna be low. In for a strike though. 1-2, and now the Westside Woolly Mammoths are 1 strike away from getting their 4th victory of the season. They lead at 5-3 in the bottom of the ninth. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Got him, strike 3 looking, and that'll end the ball game. The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers are downed by the Westside Woolly Mammoths, 5-3. Mammoths getting 2 runs in the top of the ninth to reclaim that lead, and the Beavers are now 3-6 as the Mammoths advance to 4-5 on the season. So we will tally up our final stats, and we'll be back shortly for a quick post-game chat to give you all the facts. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back, everyone, to our post-game chat. The Westside Woolly Mammoths beat the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers 5-3. They scored 2 runs in the top of the ninth to give them the lead after the Beavers tied it in the bottom of the 8th. And Dan, it was another back-and-forth game.
Yes, it was.
And it was an exciting end, again, with the runs coming in the top of the ninth. A delayed start to the bottom of the ninth thanks to the candy drop, but it got done, and then Jared Koenig comes in and delivers a 1-2-3 save.
You mean Corey Kimber?
I'm sorry, you're right. Corey Kimber comes in and goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning, striking out the final batter. Does a phenomenal job.
Yes, he does.
And so, Dan, let's get right to it. Who would you say is your pitcher of the game?
You know what? I like this guy. I like Travis McQueen. Even though giving up 1 earned run, he had 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and gave up a walk. But then again, Sean Kennedy did a great job as well. I don't know. I'm just going to probably go both ways between them two.
It's a split between me with Michael Doloff and Corey Kimber, but I'm going to give it to Corey Kimber because he came in with a 1-2-3 ninth to lock down the win for the Mammoths. So I'm going to give it to Corey Kimber.
Yeah, he gets the save for the woolly Mammoths.
Yeah, so that's who I'm going to say has the pitcher of the game. And what would you say is your player of the game?
You know what? I want to change it. I want to ask you first.
Okay. Well, then I will go with Jeff Smith.
Okay.
Jeff Smith for the Westside Woolly Mammoths went 1 for 2 today. He had a walk and a base hit with a stolen base, and he had 2 sac fly RBIs. And he struck out in his other at-bat, but that doesn't detract from the way he presented himself on the base pads and at the plate today. He did a great job all the way around.
And you guessed my player, too. I was going to go with Jeff Smith. He did a great job today and got most of the runs for the Mammoths.
Another interesting thing to mention is how Nick Wilson had 5 at-bats today, and he walked in 3 of them. The pitchers are really starting to take note of how much power he has.
Yes,
and
they're definitely
inside
a little bit scared.
Yeah, they seem to be scared as they constantly pitch inside.
But you know, the Woolly Mammoths, they came off of a win last time, too. They won 6-4 against the Unicorns, and that was Friday night. So, you know, they continue to get that win.
They also got their revenge for the 1-0 loss.
That rain-shortened no-hitter for the Beavers.
Rain-shortened no-hitter. The Mammoths today, they had 5 runs across 7 hits and 2 errors, and 9 left on base, while the Beavers had 3 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 11 left on base.
It was a beautiful afternoon for a ball game as we just get this game in because the rain's going to be coming.
The rain is going to be here very shortly. As you can see, the clouds have pushed the clear sky away. And so, Dan, we have Memorial Day tomorrow.
Yes.
Tell me, what's going on with Memorial
Day? We have the Unicorns against the Diamond Hoppers. It's going to be a great matchup. The Diamond Hoppers did get a loss last time.
Yes, they were walked off yesterday.
Yes.
Against the Utica Unicorns, but the Hoppers are going to be the home team tomorrow.
So it's going to be a great battle. Look for maybe a great pitching duel, and on both ends, offense and defense.
As I'm sure the Hoppers are going to look for revenge for blowing that game.
Yes, and if you come out to the ballpark tomorrow on Memorial Day, you get a Star-Spangled Banner hat, USPBL hat.
That is a cool giveaway.
Yes.
I wish I could get one.
And we got to thank all those veterans and also those who are serving our country.
Yeah, currently.
So it's going to be a great afternoon for a ball game tomorrow. It's apparently going to be beautiful just like it was this afternoon.
So if you guys have a family member or a friend who's currently serving in the military, give them a call. Let them know that you're grateful for them. And that's about it here from Jimmy John's Field. Your winning pitcher today is Travis McQueen. Your losing pitcher is Mike Doloff. And the save came from Corey Kimber. So from Jimmy John's Field, I'm Brian Fisher, and he's Dan Dobler.
Yes, I am.
And we'll be back tomorrow with the Diamond Hoppers versus the Unicorns. So stay tuned. Game is at 1:35 p.m.